why the red pill guys, the manosphere guys, at a whole, not all, all right, I don't want the all police coming out of retirement, not all, but some guys in the manosphere don't think too highly of the passport bros. Now, to be fair, I have been critical of the passport bros myself. I think we all have seen, I've said stuff about the passport bros. But one thing about me, guys, is I can admit when I'm wrong.
So I would tell you, hey, y'all just would be like, lead line. I'm looking at it. Just to date and have it different experiences. You will have experiences abroad that you will never have in the United States. Not in your lifetime. Not if you could have 1,000 births. If you could be born 1,000 times, you would not have these experiences in the United States.
That's crazy.
I don't get one look. I should really, there's a part of me, because I'm a content creator. There's a part of me. There's a person. And there's a part of me that wants to bring this. I want to bring this person on so she could tell you about my time in Mexico, because y'all aren't going to believe me if I started telling you this shit. I got some stuff that I would tell you, and y'all just would be like,
Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
It's a hard thing to admit, but it's understandable why they would choose to go their own way. And that's what's scary, is there's actually a rational reason why they would do that.
Men going their own way. And you can think what you want about it, but this is a really big problem for women, for us, for our future, for families, for you to find a partner. If a population of good men are walking away because they're fed up with women.
If you're being told all your life that you are bad and wrong just for being a man, and that you have toxic masculinity for being a man, and that, women, there's this famous expression that, a woman needs a man just like a fish needs a bicycle. And that men are basically useless, and that men are terrible, and that, women are superior.
Our society is very callous towards men. The only message most men hear in the world is that they're a bumbling buffoon. The TV shows are full of idiot men. Commercials show men as buffoons. The society is against them. All they hear about is what idiots men are.
It's the mass of women that are taking over the culture and representing women. They're loud, they're mean, they say they want equality. Why are they not protesting in the streets for the changing the laws for alimony or child support or child custody? Because they don't want equality, they want superiority.
The male gender has more of a slave state, and it's because men are now subjugated to the law and to women, and nobody really believes it except the men who go through, say, the court. But most men think that they're exempt from that until they end up in a bad situation.
So for a lot of the men, and a lot of them have gotten screwed over in terrible relationships and divorces, and gotten their kids taken away from them. So it's an understandable response.
In the United States of America, as a man, you can't speak up. I think most women tend to be I'm stereotyping, but they tend to be more collectivist. They tend to sort of be more in that socialist mindset. So I don't know that you're going to see a huge change. I think the change will have to come from men.
The lives of women will not change until the men get the opportunity to also examine and define and change their lives. In many ways, I sometimes think that the 20th century was the century where the women made all these massive changes, and the 21st century will be the changes that the men will make, partly in adaptation to the changes that the women have done.
And those men are doing something about it. They're saying, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm not getting married, or I'm divorced. They don't sit around just trying to live their life through women. They actually have lots of hobbies. They go out, they buy that land you were talking about. They're getting motorcycles. They're having a good time, and they're enjoying life without having to deal with the stress of the women and the society that tells them they have to have a woman in their life.
How would you feel? I mean, you're not going to feel that attracted to a woman or care to be loving towards her or romantic towards her. So this men going their own way is a reaction to that. I really think it's a rational reaction to that. Men are finally like, hey, we've given you all you want. You know, you are equal in every way, and then you're still shaming us.
He said it's a comedy skit.
But he didn't say it was a comedy skit. I don't know that.
But I told you I wasn't. But
okay, and I let it go.
You didn't let it go.
I'm not talking about it. You are. I don't give a fuck if you was a pimp or not.
But I don't give a... You keep asking me stupid shit.
I did not.
Why do you keep
asking me
stupid shit?
What other stupid shit do I ask you?
What
other stupid shit do I ask you?
Bring your fucking voice down.
No, you don't talk to me like that.
Bring your voice down.
No, you don't talk to me
you bring your voice down.
You're not my daddy, though.
You can leave. You can leave. You can leave. You can leave. There you go. No. Let her go. No. Let her go. Go ahead. Bye-bye. Go. You go.
No.
There you go. No, you can leave. Go ahead.
Why are y'all doing this?
You good. We good. Thank you. Have a good day, sweetie.
What is going on? How did this
all right. No. It's good. There you go.
Oh my God. What in the world?
There you go.
What just happened?
It was time for her to bounce.
Oh my God. Maybe
I know that reasoning, out of respect to minorities. What the fuck? Stop! I want to get another air right now. I'm punching air, probably swinging around, eating some bananas. Fucking stupid bitch. Preach is crying right now, swinging from a monkey branch.
And why is she going to end up with a poor mate? Because we as black men are not raising black boys to be the men that our women need. If we're going to be men, the first thing we got to do is take responsibility for why our women feel the way they feel.
I want you to listen to what this Negro has to say.
Of a white guy who married a black woman with black children. And in this video, the white guy was clowning black men and saying, you think I can't raise black boys? I raise them better than y'all do.
This is type of woke shit that I'm talking about right here that makes white men like Nick Fuentes get on the internet and be comfortable saying nigga. This is why motherfuckers like this are dangerous. And we've let these Negroes go on too long saying whatever they want to say. All this anti-black male rhetoric is what it is. This is why motherfuckers like this are dangerous. And we've let these Negroes go on too long saying whatever they want to say. All this anti-black male rhetoric is what it is.
We got too many PhDs screaming they woke. Sleep on the land and take us off for a joke. The blacks I see, immigrants, tap dancing, nigga shit. Homie, he ain't black like me. Ancestors fought and died with no guns. You hear disrespect and speak with a forked tongue. We march for togetherness. All we really seeing is a bunch of sellout motherfuckers round here don't tell the shit. Separate better shit. We don't fuck with it, trick them celibate. Tell it to the donkey and the elephant. Here for the benefits. Damn right, talking to you immigrants. Over here acting like you innocent. In your homeland, you don't fuck with blacks. But getting handouts and money off our tax. And we ain't getting shit but some feel-good talk. And young black men outlined in white chalk. Time to spark change, the kind folks see. Produced by Baz, inspired by Uncle D. Give black men a voice. They only Umars on Friday. And trust me, our doctor ain't voice. My people rejoice. My lyrics ain't shooting and killing the black man. Make a motherfucking choice. What niggas do for money, clown and act a fool. Wearing dresses, finessing money just for a school. Tell it to these coons on a plantation, made it a celebration. Everybody to Zoom, blizzard in the room. So bundle up, trick. It's cold outside and he ain't taking no shit. This is why they hate us. Blood run deep, a generation of traitors. They wanna see us weak, you ain't a part of the family. Cold shoulder, fuck you, black men ain't shit. I'm sure the world will love you. Head down long enough, 50 plus years, you yelling that we ain't strong enough. Took them benefits and ran with it, it's Mayday. Took the kids away and now they Pookie and Ray Ray. This is where we separate.
Word, feel me? We gotta keep our black women safe. Why you got spray paint on what's the name?
Like, you keep this shit moving, bro. We don't play like that, bro.
Okay, bro. I don't give a fuck, bro. We don't play like that.
About, my nigga? Like, look at your van, my nigga. This is some weird shit. Don't come parking around this shit, my nigga.
Word, there's some other shit.
Fuck you. What's the name of the block? I don't know. Bro, get the fuck out of here, my nigga. Real shit, bro. And keep it going fast, bro.
Yo, that's some crazy. That's crazy, bro.
Get it understood, cause real black men wish a motherfucker would. So buck if you want to. On the next flight, we do whatever we want to. Blizzard King coming, everybody favorite uncle.
Hey, you got niggas with degrees enabling these motherfuckers by perpetuating these lies and negativity about black men. Most of you black men don't have kids. You ain't even got no wife. 31% of y'all are married, 51% of you don't have kids, and you're not married. That's 82% of black men who ain't did shit or are doing it the right way. There's 18% of men out there with children outside of wedlock. And of that group, they are better fathers than men of other races who are married to their women. Right. You black men are outstanding. You hear me? You are winning. Fuck what these PhD ass niggas are saying. You are winning. You are doing a great fucking job, especially considering what you had to do and deal with historically. Especially that. Nobody's saying that. These lying motherfuckers, man.
Dennis Sperling. This person has been negatively targeting black women negatively on social media. And it seems as though ever since Kevin Samuels died, he's been trying to, I don't know if he wants to be the next Kevin Samuels, if he wants to be the next person who's famous for disparaging black women and for making someone try to feel a certain way, particularly black women.
First they had Weight Watchers, now you got hate watchers. Let's get it. This is for my lovely young ladies like I hate. Blizzard King, Dennis Sperling. First let's get the record straight. I say it online, I can say it to your face. Not a bully, I'm just mean, know what I mean, no debate. It's time to put some motherfucking knowledge on your plate. Excuse me if I'm vulgar, but a king ain't sweet like cake. Holding court, living court, ladies, you just need a taste of what we've been through. Judge will set you up for grape. And I ain't talking Numa, I would not put on a cake. I do not confuse shit, we all got a face. Reality, you woofing on your men like you were 8. My job is protecting black men up in the space, and also putting rude bitches back up in their place. Cross-examination, I look good to the race. Man, be a man, nigga, say it with your chest. The soft-spoken men these lovely ladies don't respect. I can care less, I do not do this for checks. I do this for my sons and the black men I invest. It's time to get what I was, ladies, gotta pay your debt. You're working with the same men who put it around our necks. You're not my sister, not my kind, you a threat. When the weather change, I hope you bitches feel dead. Let this be reminders to the ones who disrespect. We are God's chosen men. When you say Jesus, you mean us.
The only Jesus I know is him, and the one thing he don't need is a partner.
Shut the fuss, we discuss with your fuckery. Past 100 years, you ain't loving me. Who was on the front line fighting, yeah, fuck is me. Building all them black towns, yeah, fuck is me. Kicking rides off Michael Brown, yeah, fuck is me. Now you wanna put us underground, not to fuck with me. Change your plans, baby, you can be replaced. Let freedom ring. Them sunny white days, Martin Luther King. Single mama program chip for the simp queen. Mother goddess only gon' destroy us. It's the Blizzard King. Blizzard King. The Blizzard King. Yeah. Hate watch on the Blizzard King. Blizzard King. It's the Blizzard King. The Blizzard King. The Blizzard King. It's the Blizzard King. Hate watch on the Blizzard King. It's the Blizzard King. It's the Blizzard King. It's the Blizzard King. Yeah. Hate watch on the Blizzard King.
They say that's the bad guy. So say good night to the bad guy.
Fire for your mind. Kosherclinician.
If it ain't seven, it ain't kosher. Heaven and hell, that's what they told you. Real men put the strap down and we can toss them. Young heads picking back up and young dolphins. This is our culture. Now we talking kosher. Clinician, masculinity issues, absent fathers who miss you, mama drama don't kiss you, all a part of the ritual, this is how they get you, separate the men, women, clipping babies pretend to, damn, lovers, haters, acting like vultures, if it ain't seven, it ain't kosher, if it ain't kosher, ain't right, gotta divorce us, if it ain't seven, it ain't kosher, if it ain't kosher, ain't right, gotta divorce us, if it ain't seven, it ain't kosher, if it ain't kosher, ain't right, gotta divorce us. This is Kosherclinician. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is Kosherclinician. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is Kosherclinician. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is Kosherclinician. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. Listen.
All right, guys, thank you for tuning in on tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in on tonight. And we're going to have another great show on tonight, guys. We're going to have another great show. And we're going to talk about alpha male strategies and why so many are coming to their senses with understanding the movement and understanding why men are defecting and men are beginning to go abroad. Many men are traveling to foreign lands, not because they necessarily want to, but because the market has become so contaminated with the word that I created, and a word now that appears to be in Urban Dictionary, hoflation. A hoflation, guys, basically means the subpar women have put you in a state of mental health crisis where average men can't get the type of women that they want. Men are beginning to look within themselves. They're beginning to use these spaces, and they're beginning to use these spaces to understand, affirm, and see and understand why they want the quality women that they're so looking for. Get your pens and paper ready, guys. I'm about to drop some fire for your mind on tonight. Let's do it. All right, hold tight, guys. Give me 1 minute. We're about to drop some fire for your mind. Hold on. 1 minute. All right, there. If you guys can hear one, y'all can hear. Hit one, please. Hit one, please, if you can hear. If you can hear it, hit one. Bringing it to you live once again from the greatest state in the Union, the Tar Heel State, where the topography is serene, pristine, and verdant green, where every day is Father's Day, and where manhood is part of hills and valleys, victories and failures. And whereas men, we don't agree on all things or ideologies, but tonight we come together as allies of a common cause only to dissipate once the crisis is over. Now listen, I'm about to drop some fire for your mind. But before I drop that fire, let's explore why we are doing the Manhood Chronicles.
All right, guys, we're going to get deep into it, guys. Get the likes up. Get the likes up, guys. Donate to the channel, please. Donate to the channel. Like Alpha Male Strategy, start rubbing them hands together, guys. I'm going to start rubbing my hands together. I'm going to rub my hands together like Alpha Male Strategies. Shout out to Alpha Male Strategies. Shout out to Alpha Male Strategies. Because, see, the guys, here's the importance of this space. The importance of this space is this. It says, whereas men, we don't agree on all things or ideologies, but we come together as allies of a common cause only to dissipate once the crisis is over. There is a crisis in heteronormative masculinity. And it takes a man to say when he's wrong. Therefore, I respect alpha male strategies. As I said on last night, Harriet Tubman said that I could have freed a lot more if they did not already know that they were slaves. I showed you guys the evidence. You guys see the evidence over and over and over and over and over again. And we know and understand that there is a percentage of women that are good, noteworthy women. So let me say this before I start the show, because many will always misconstrue what I'm saying because they're not disciplined. Shout out to all the good, noble sisters that are striving to do the right thing. Shout out to Obong Anwar. Shout out to good sisters like her. Sisters that uncovered so that she could recover. So I salute that sister. Shout out to all the other noble sisters that are striving. And what I mean by striving, it basically means that they understand their female nature. They understand that if they don't actively and daily work on the dark side of their personalities, they can revert to behaviors similar to the women that we see manifesting in modern times. When women listen to what men say, then both parties are happy because the nature of a man is to do. And we know that there are predatory men just like there are predatory women. We understand that. But in general, men, when they are inclined to move forward in a state of benevolence, they are inclined to move forward when they have good women that love them, respect them, and honor them. But see, the problem with the modern woman is that the modern woman wants to dictate what the market is. And this is the first time in human history, I believe, where average to subpar women want to dictate what the market is. I told you guys that men do what they want to do and boys do what they can do. Many men are beginning to recuse themselves and go through a de-evolution based on how they were trained by their mothers, and they're becoming men. No longer are they becoming or staying in a state of arrested development. They are telling the women in their lives that give me liberty or give me death. And because of the obtuse nature of the modern woman, many men are choosing consistent with Dr. William Glasser. Dr. William Glasser, guys, was a psychoanalytic theorist. And Dr. Glasser said that there are 5 elemental principles, something I talk about all the time, that drive behaviors. Needs drive behaviors. Needs drive behaviors. Dr. Glasser talked about those 5 principles. He said that power was number 1. Black men and white men and men in general have begun to feel powerless. And because of them feeling powerless, they're either dropping out from relationships, because guys, I didn't know it, but the word hoflation, a word that I created, I thought I did, because the Urban Dictionary now is using the word hoflation. And they came out with that word back in March. And I came up with the word about a year ago. And I coined it from my man, Peaceful Life, where he talked about relationship capitalism. But see, there's another term that I created because in the clinical world, we use the word consent. You got to get consent when you are disseminating information to third-party collaterals. But see, the modern woman never got consent from the black man. She never got consent. She never asked the black man what he wants. The American woman forgot to ask the white man and the Indian man and the red man and all men what they wanted in relationships. They took an old paradigm based on what's called the feminist theory lens. And the feminist theory lens postulates that women are oppressed, men are misogynistic, men are oppressing women, and men are taking away the power of women. But see, here's the problem with that. Because contrary to the evidence, women are more empowered now than ever before in human history. But one of the progenitors of the black experience, his name was Frederick Douglass. And Frederick Douglass said that power never conceded to anything without a struggle. It never have, and it never will. And the more power you give them, the power from the system is used to oppress men. It's used to minimize the mental health of men. And also, guys, it's used to keep our young boys in a state of arrested development. I told the people, guys, that you can't have an evolution of a system until you have a de-evolution of the current system. Our ancestors of the past, before they could evolve, they had to de-evolve from the mind state of being slaves under Jim Crow racism. And they de-evolved from seeing themselves as slaves, and they took on the mantle of liberation theology, and they used the passages of the Old Testament, and they challenged the draconian laws of the South and the 3/5 compromise, and they say, "Am I not a man?" And they begin to look through the pages of the scripture, and from the pages of the scripture, they understood that God saw the black man as perfect in his eyes as he saw all human. And also, when they begin to look at the scripture, they begin to see that the black man has a prominent place in pre-biblical history. But then one will also argue that some of the greatest minds and some of the greatest kingdoms came out of the continent of Africa when it wasn't called Africa at the time. And then when the black man begin to look in Genesis, he began to understand and see that the original humans, Adam and Eve, came from the Pishon and the Gishon River near Ethiopia. And then the black man began to understand and see that am I not a man, but am I created in the image of God? Now, guys, get the likes up, because like Bishop Charles D. Williams said, y'all ain't gonna talk to me, because alpha male strategies, and many are beginning to see what these men are seeing. And I use the word the passport movement because the passport bros, in my mind, as a denomination from the passport movement. You got the Blue Book Gentlemen with Brazil Yeesh. You got the Men's Option Group with Charles Tyler and Al Grease, which were more or less apostles of that movement. And then you got the passport bros. I believe that Aaron Ferris and my man Anthony Holloman and so many others are under that branch. It's a broad concept, guys. It's a broad concept. And so I like to say the passport movement, because this thing is phenomenal. Because when we see women like Ebony Williams that tell men that their good is never good enough, and they want the man's DNA without giving the man respect, then what men are beginning to say, why would I give my best to subpar women that have not been trained to respect and honor their men? Men are the buyers. Women are the sellers. What modern men are saying, what are you selling, woman? Because what you're selling is not consistent with what our grandfathers got in the past. And you can say it over and over and over and over and over again, and some just don't get it. And so because the needs of men weren't met because they didn't feel like they belonged, consistent with Dr. Glasser, and they didn't feel like they had power, then they came to what's called cyber group therapy, and they began to share the evidence. And we're going to go back over that, but guys, get the likes up because it takes time to put these shows together. These shows are not for free. And if you like what I'm doing, donate to the channel and share this content, because there's a remnant of women that are looking for good husbands. And I would say to the women, if you want good men, you need to start speaking up, because the men that can travel, they're getting on the train and they're going to Canaan. They're going to the land of milk and honey, where the women abroad are not perfect women. The women abroad are not necessarily better, but they are better because they've been socialized to be better. They're humans. That's why I said they're not better based on their humanity, but they are better based on their socialization. And see, the American woman has now went through the 3 stages of assimilation, meaning she blends into an environment. Accommodation, meaning she puts off things about her behavior and the things that she learned for the greater good. And the last stage is adaptation. The Western woman fails to adapt to what men want. They minimize the needs of men. They put their careers first. They give their virtue to multiple men. And then on the end, they want the benefits of a traditional relationship. And men that have worked hard and say, nah, you don't qualify, boo. And because of that, men have become frustrated. They become frustrated. They become frustrated by women like Tina Knowles. They become frustrated like women like Ebony Williams. They become frustrated like women like Keke Palmer. Men want to feel respected, and anytime they try to have some level of healthy control in a relationship, they don't want to hear the words that you are insecure. So once again, guys, alpha male strategy came to a conniption. And alpha male strategy said that the passport bros actually are right. So guys, we'll get deep into it. We're going to have a good show. We're going to have a Leo show on tonight. We're going to have a good show on tonight, guys. And if you want to donate, it's best to donate through Cash App. But let me look at some of these comments, guys. Let me look at some of these comments real quick. And guys, donate to the channel, please, because this content is very time consuming. But I'm going to show you guys something. I'm going to show you guys something because American black men are beginning to wake up, sadly, and they're beginning to see what their worth
Why
is.
the red pill guys, the manosphere guys, at a whole, not all. All right, I don't want the all police coming out of retirement, not all, but some guys in the manosphere don't think too highly of the passport bros. Now, to be fair, I have been critical of the passport bros myself. I think we all have seen, I've said stuff about the passport bros. But one thing about me, guys, is I can admit when I'm wrong.
Shout out to my man, Big Truck. Big Truck, I reached out to you, homie. Come through if you can, Big Truck. Come through, Big Truck. I would love to hear from you if you can, but if not, I understand. But guys, donate to the channel because this is going to be a very comprehensive show on tonight. Very comprehensive, guys. And I'm about to show you guys. Come through, Big Truck, because the dating coaches are beginning to see what we're seeing. But I want to show you guys something, guys, in this comprehensive show because it's going to be a surgical execution like I normally do. we're going to go back to what Ivan Yalom talked about, and then we're going to get into it deeply. And we're going to talk about the emergence of the passport bros. But before we do it, guys, let me show you guys something. Because I call it the passport movement instead of the passport bros. And guys, in my opinion, this is what I call the emergence of the passport movement. The passport movement, in my opinion. And the passport movement has many branches, as I said before earlier. You got Charles Tyler and Al Grease that were running mates. And while Charles Tyler had started the movement with the men's options, Al Grease, and he liked the work of Al Grease because of Al Grease frustrated, him and Al Grease began to look at the evidence and share the evidence about why men are traveling. Now, guys, this is a good show. You guys got to donate to the channel, guys, because the Kosher Clinician got quotas. And I love you guys, but you guys got to donate and show me some love now. And shout out to my man Passport OG for the 3. I appreciate it. Thank you, Passport OG, for the 3. I appreciate it, man. And so Al Grease and Charles Tyler were correlates of one another. And they began to work together because they began to understand that there was some troubling going on in America. And while there are branches of the passport movement, I consider Brazil Yeesh the bougie branch of the movement. He called it the Blue Book Gentleman. And so what people don't understand is that the manosphere is broad. It's very broad. And just like denominations, you got the Protestant denomination, you got the Protestant, the big branches, the Protestants. But then you got Presbyterian, you got the Church of God in Christ, you got Baptist, you got Pentecostal holiness, you got many small branches from a big branch. And the passport movement had begun to branch off. And they're just branches of one another. They're branches of one another, guys. They're not the panacea, but they're branches of one another. And just like the manosphere, men share similar talking points. And while we're not card-carrying members, a lot of times we become adjacents of one another. I was always kosher, guys, before I came to this space. I was always talking about male rights and male empowerment. And what you guys are beginning to see now is that even though Austin more or less don't hate passport bros, but what Austin understands is that there are some bad apples in the passport bro, just like there are bad apples in all movements. So you got the men's options with Al Grease and Charles Tyler. You got the bougie branch, what I call the Blue Book Gentlemen. And then you got the passport bros. I think BMT, Aaron Ferris came up with the concept, or somebody else. I don't know who came up with it. And Austin Holloman indirectly inserted himself into it. And therefore, guys, was born a movement, a powerful movement, where men are beginning to travel abroad. Men are beginning to love themselves. And men like Alpha Male Strategies are saying he was wrong. Because, see, once again, Alpha Male Strategies said, how can I talk about men? How can I talk about men when we talk about the same men that American men are trying to get away from? And guys, this is a declaration of power. Once again, it's a declaration of power. Because black men are beginning to travel abroad and begin to look for options that are good. So once again, shout out to Passport OG. He's the #1 sponsor of the stream with the 3. And guys, once again, donate to the channel. And I'll show some love. So once again, the Passport movement, the men's options group, the Blue Book Gentlemen, and the Passport Bros. And I'm going to show you guys something I'm going to show you guys something because I like what Brazil Yeast said and what my man Sunshine Shoulder said. He said his biggest critics many times are men. But I'm going to show you guys something. And guys, once again, donate to the channel, please. Donate to the channel. But this is why the movement, I believe, started. It's consistent with Irvin Yalom and group therapy. This is cyber group therapy. Many men came to these spaces looking for hope. Consistent with group therapy is something called the installation of hope. Encouragement that recovery is possible by sharing stories and also sharing evidence. Encouragement that recovery is possible and sharing stories and information. Many men came to this space because of an existentialist crisis. And I know what I'm saying is right because Irvin Yalom taught existentialist theory. And then he said it was a universality, recognition of shared experiences and knowing a person's problems are not unique. Black men began to see from the north, east, south, and west that they all were going through the same thing with modern women. White men began to understand that they were going through the same thing. As I told you guys before in the past, when I have a conversation with multiple men of different ethnic groups through a randomized sample, they're all going through the same thing. They're going through the same thing. Then they began to impart information, teaching about problems and learning factual information and treatment options. The treatment option became the passport bros or the passport movement. The treatment option became the men's option group. It became the Blue Book Gentlemen, and it became the passport bro. It was an intervention to exploring possibilities. And we understand that some men that travel are not ready for foreign wives. Some are not ready. And I'm going to prove my point. And then, guys, it morphed off into altruism. That means good deeds. Men begin to help one another. They begin to look at the evidence and begin to help one another. And then men begin to develop social skills because some of these men struggle with women. But what they realize is when they travel abroad, what they realized they didn't need swag. They didn't need game. The only thing they had to do was be themselves. And then it morphed to what's called imitative behavior, modeling another's mannerisms and recovery skills. They begin to travel and they begin to imitate. Men in these spaces begin to imitate, and when they see disrespect, they begin to imitate the message. And then it was a stage when men began to go to group cohesiveness. The manosphere brought forth group cohesiveness because men were going through an existentialist crisis. An existentialist crisis basically means, why am I going through this? What's going on? And it became an existentialist crisis. From the existentialist crisis, guys, became a catharsis. For some. A release of emotions and tension, burst out of crying, express emotions in a safe environment. It became an environment for men to free associate and to share their story and to share their pain. So men began to ask themselves the question, why am I paying $200 for a date? Why am I dealing with subpar women or average women that think they're better than me? Why am I dealing with women that have given their virtue to multiple men, got kids by multiple men, have taken on liberal ideologies, and my good is never good enough? So they begin to compare the evidence and they begin to say, nah, it's time for me to move on. It's time for me to move forward. Because just like alpha male strategy was wrong, American men begin to wake up and realize they were wrong. And also Holloman, he began to see that women in Brazil and women in other countries are nationalists first. But when Austin went to the motherland where he's at now, he began to understand that there were black women in Africa, sisters from the motherland, that respected him and honor him and treat him the way men are treated abroad. And so once again, guys, needs drive behaviors. I need you guys to repeat that with me. needs drive behaviors. When men are not getting their needs met, they start having behaviors. What are those behaviors? They become indifferent. They stop dating, and they begin to travel abroad because they need a woman that's a feminine oscillator, a woman that sprays femininity into the mind of a man, something the women of old did in the past. But now, you know, if you cook a man a meal, they say, well, that's wife duties, but they expect you to open the door for them. They expect you to take them out to dinner. They expect you to be traditional while they remain modern because they have been indoctrinated. And when you show them the evidence, they don't hear it because they are deaf. They deny the evidence. They become enraged when you present them with the evidence. And they argue to ad hominem attacks, meaning they will attack me or you. They attack the messenger instead of the message. And what many do, like the woman last night, they fight you or they flee. They use shaming language because they are low-value women. And instead of changing and adjusting and adapting, they refuse to assimilate and understand the mind of a masculine man. Because see, guys, abroad, if you understand the culture and understand the people abroad are nationalists first, you don't have to have $1 million to get respect from a man, a woman. They just treat you well in general. And that's why these conversations are so important, guys. So once again, guys, get the likes up. Donate to the channel, please. Donate to the channel. Shout out to my man, Top Gun. Top Gun saying, if we're going to preach travel, then we must preach therapy first. I agree with you, brother. Everything ain't for everybody, and that's these fish-eyed fools. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, brother.
You got the number right, because you are talking
I appreciate
to a dynamite.
So once again, guys, in my mind, I call it the passport movement. I call it the passport movement. And under the passport movement, even though it wasn't coined and identified, as far as I know, I heard, once again, Aaron Ferris came up with Passport Bros. But once again, Aaron Ferris was just a branch under the movement. From the Passport Bros, there were branches already establishing like the Blue Book Gentlemen, like Brazil Yeesh. And I don't know if that's 100%. I've heard that Aaron came up with it, but then some say someone else came up with it. But anyway, it rings true. And then from there, you had men like Charles Tyler and Al Grease commencing together. But I'm going to show you guys something because I believe the Urban Dictionary has been stealing my words, guys. I believe the Urban Dictionary has been stealing my words because hoflation in my mind is real. And I'm going to show you guys something. Hold tight. I'm going to show you guys something real quick. Let me show you guys something. And let me go and show you guys from Urban Dictionary because they begin to use words that I never heard before until recently. All right, so here we go. So let me connect to this, guys, and share the screen. And this is the movement, the Urban Dictionary for the Passport Bros. This was in February 2023. So some of these guys have been looking at what we're talking about. And so the Passport Bros are men who have chosen to seek out foreign women, typically from other countries, for relationships. They believe that Western women have been influenced by culture and societal pressures to behave in a certain way. And that by seeking out foreign women, they can find a more authentic, fulfilling, and harmonious relationship. This is seen as a way to restore natural balance to masculine and feminine energy and to avoid the wickedness of Western women. So once again, guys, needs drive behaviors. Needs drive behaviors. Men who understand Western women have drunk the Kool-Aid, past a point of no return, and men have gotten their passport to enjoy happiness and peace with fit, friendly foreign women. And the Lord said, God bless the passport bros, for they have avoided thy wickedness. American women are archived nirvana with feminine foreign women, restoring natural balance between feminine and masculine, breathing out, leaving in the dusty thou Western she-men. And so you guys are seeing some of the talking points under Urban Dictionary. Passport bros are a new phenomenon of Western men who are deciding to go to Asia and elsewhere to find traditional women to wife up because they're either annoyed at the insanely high standards of Western women, that's hoflation, or they don't share the extreme woke values, or because Western women can be hypocrites who want to provide her, but they don't want to clean and cook. Yes. And that's taxation without representation. Passport bros, once again, guys, he called it a variation of the MGTOW movement. And while some say that, I've never heard that the manosphere had issues with the passport bros, I would say that the passport bros is a separate entity from the manosphere, but they are adjacent because they share similar talking points. But the passport variant men are still, the passport variant are men who want to wife up good women instead of rejecting marriage altogether. Passport bros believe certain women are worthy of marriage and both husband and wife should contribute to marriage in some way. Person one, bro, the girl on Tinder must be 6 feet tall, 6-pack, 6-figure income, pay for all her gifts, but she won't cook or clean. And guys, once again, that's pigeon behavior. That's pigeon behavior, guys. Because that's foolishness in my opinion. Because it would take a foolish man to treat a woman with such reverence when he's not getting anything in return. Donate to the channel, guys. We got $7 so far. Donate to the channel. I appreciate it. Men in the West who understand the West, particularly the U.S., is a sinking ship, both financially and culturally. And so what men are saying, you cannot save a community that don't honor and respect the men of the community. Men are not coming back to save a community where the women have not been trained to be wise or to respect men. And we know that the laws don't benefit men in the West. Therefore, it's extremely risky for men to get married. Passport bros understand that their lives will be better in places like Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe, because strong family values, guys, are still seen as a norm in places like that. Hookup culture isn't as rampant in those parts of the world, and thus the population of women are far less damaged. Women that have a lot of sex with multiple men become damaged. They become damaged because of the trauma, and they become damaged because they can't pair bond with the right man. They create better and stronger family units. So therefore, guys, if you get a woman that's hasn't been ran through, she's more likely to be a viable wife. Passport bros tend to get bullied by Western women who ironically prove why passport bros exist in the first place. And for some reason, black men are the primary targets. Yes, it's not a problem, guys, until the black man do it. It's not a problem until the black men do it. Big Truck, I'm gonna send you the link in a minute, brother. But this is why the passport movement, guys, is becoming so prominent.
When you date a woman and she may be a potential wife, it's a competition thing all the way. I can't take it no more.
They feel propped up because they feel more beholden to the government. And then their man comes second. That's why they figure that they're strong, independent, don't need no man because they have the government.
Because the men are failing us, to be honest. Guys thinking about themselves and
They'll think about you after you react.
You don't hear anything about being good wives and all the other stuff. What you hear is you're strong and you independent. You can do it on your own. You got black girl magic, black girl walk, but you ain't said nothing about black family.
My mother is like what they consider to be the strong black woman. I feel like I projected that onto the guys that I dated.
Ladies have no idea how stiff their competition really is. You have no clue how black men are viewed in the rest of the world. We are the #1 most sexually desired man on the face of this planet.
They would call Jesus Dusty if he was here living in America because of the gross narcissism that a lot of our women have. Guys, that goes back to needs driving behaviors. Guys, get the likes up once again and donate to the channel, guys. Share the stream. Support black male content because as a professional, I take risks during these shows, guys. And it's not appropriate that only 2 people have donated thus far, but 45 people watching the stream. These shows take a lot of time, guys. It takes a lot of time to put these shows together. So once again, if you like what I'm doing, donate to the channel. If you can't donate, please share the stream. Share the stream. If you got a question you want me to read, send a Cash App or send a Super Chat, and I will read your response. All right, so let's get back into it, guys. So passport bros tend to get bullied by Western women, once again, particularly black men, because they don't see you guys as being anything. The passport bro phenomena is of men who are tired of the 80-20 Pareto rule and dating or choosing to go abroad, mainly Southeast Asia, where women appreciate their value. This is explained as hoflation. They stole my word because I created that word, hoflation, because I never heard nobody talk about hoflation until recently. So he said that this is due to hoflation as explained elsewhere. Hoflation. And basically means subpar women that are very promiscuous, that are putting extraneous demands on good, average, working, blue-collar, and white-collar brothers. And shout out to my man, The Peaceful Life, who came up with the word relationship capitalism. The Austrian School of Economics believe any increase in money in the money supply, not supported by increase of production goods and services, leads to an increase in prices. Once again, the Austrian School of Economics believe any increase in the money supply not supported by increase of production of goods and services leads to an increase in prices. Likewise, suppose it's an increase in the quality of men, but no increase in quality of women. And this has caused an increase in demand for good women, as there is a decent amount of good men, thus the price of good women now will increase. And once again, women don't dictate to men what they want. They must become what men want. Women don't get to dictate to men what the market is. They must become the market or become left behind. They must become the market or become left behind, guys. Remember the law of demand. The law of demand states that the quantity purchased varies immensely with price. So men will go elsewhere where value is appreciated more and where they don't have to deal with enormous ripoffs. So an enormous ripoff is a woman that's been ran through, a woman that got kids by other men, a woman that's grossly overweight. And we're not talking about good sisters that are overweight. We're not talking about you. But we are talking about obese women that think they're better than average men and want those men to make a certain amount of money. The declining quality of Western women and the rise of quality in Asian women is a start as a takeover of Japanese automobiles being more valuable than the American car. More value for your money, greater return on your investment, more bang for your buck. Men who only means of attracting women is through financial exploitation. That's why, guys, you should never lead with your wallet. I don't believe that money alone would keep a woman feminine, because there are men from other countries where they don't make nowhere near as much money as you make. And the women, because they've been trained to be wives, still support and honor their husbands. Average guys get cooperative, supportive women because they respect the value of a man. This is the only tool in their kits, so they fly to overexploited nations where women have less financial standing and show off $20 here or there to get women's attention. Unironically, they don't like gold diggers in places like the U.S., but they refine giving their money anyway to women who'll do anything for coins because they need to buy food and feed their families. So this is the shaming language, guys. Because what folks don't understand is that foreign women actually seek to exploit American men. That's why they're called licks. If you go abroad and don't understand the culture, you can become exploited. So once again, a group of men, primarily of Black American descent, African descent, obtain passports due to being frustrated of women in the United States and refusing them instant sexual access because of their lack of sexual access to women in the United States. And so this is the shaming part right here, guys, where they disrespect foreign women, third world countries, and they say all this foolishness. And so you guys saw a broad range of how the passport movement, guys, has begun to proliferate. You guys have saw a small part of how the passport movement has begun to proliferate. So, guys, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you guys something. And we're about to go down the rabbit hole in a minute. But before we go down the rabbit hole, guys, donate to the stream, as I asked earlier, and share the content. But in the meantime, let me show you guys something. Because alpha male strategies are beginning to see what you guys are seeing. So once again, the passport movement, I call it the movement because many men played a role in it. Many men played a role in the passport movement. Many men played a role in the passport movement because they are branches of one another. They are branches of one another. One will argue that Aaron Ferris came up with the passport bros. Austin Holloman became part of that circle. And many others became part of that circle. But all passport bros are not good men. Some are, but some are passport pookas. They're pookma pirates. And these pookma pirates go across other countries, damn, causing chaos. So they are pookma pirates. And pookma pirates are no different than pigeons. Pookma pirates go across the internet, go across different foreign lands, vomiting. But then on the flip side, women in the West, many of them they're number pigeons.
Flies eat poop. Get over it. Okay? That's for you.
Yeah. Shut up, Kosher. Yeah. Shut up. Whoa. Shut up, Kosher.
Ballin'.
Take it back.
Like it's game time. Game time. Locked in when it's game time. Yeah, I'm ballin'.
A lot of pigeons, guys. So once again, I call it the passport movement. Some say that Aaron Ferris created passport bros. I guess he did. I don't know. I've always heard Aaron say it on with BMT, but then some say that someone else created it. So I don't know who created it. But I know the Men's Option Group with Charles Tyler and then Al Grease supporting that. And then also the Blue Book Gentlemen, which I call the bougie branch with Brazil Yeesh. So we all have branches and we all associated more or less. Shout out to my man Big K for the 5. He said Kenya, Rwanda, Uganda, and Tanzania are excellent destination for Black American passport bros. Yes, sir, right, brother. I agree with you 100%. And also in the beginning to see that. I agree with you 100%, brother.
Pure dynamite.
And shout out to my man, Sean Campbell. Sean Campbell always showing love. Thank God for good men like Sean Campbell, guys, because content creation is not free. It's time consuming. It takes hours to put these shows together. And if you like good content creators, if you like black male content, always support it. If you don't have money, don't just share the content. Sean Campbell sent me $30 cash out. And Sean Campbell, you are the #1 sponsor of this stream. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, sir.
Right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Got 5 on it.
All right, guys. Thank you to Sean Campbell for that generous love offering. Thank you, brother. And once again, guys, Alpha Male Strategy said I messed up. He was like Anita Baker. He said, I apologize. Because Alpha Male Strategist is beginning to see what a lot of men are seeing. When you travel abroad, guys, you're treated like gods. You're respected. Don't mean foreign women are perfect. They still women. But you'll get a better product by traveling abroad.
So I would tell you, hey, y'all just would be like, lead line. I'm looking at it. Just to date and have it different experiences. You will have experiences abroad that you will never have in the United States. Not in your lifetime. Not if you could have 1,000 births. If you could be born 1,000 times, you would not have these experiences in the United States.
That's crazy.
I don't get one look. You know, I should really, there's a part of me, because I'm a content creator, there's a part of me, there's a person, and there's a part of me that wants to bring this, I want to bring this person on so she could tell you about my time in Mexico, because y'all aren't going to believe me if I started telling you this shit. I got some stuff that I would tell you, and y'all just would be like,
all right, guys, so let's look at it. Because Alpha Male Strategist, he caught the passport ghost.
Why the red pill guys, the manosphere guys, at a whole, not all. All right, I don't want all police coming out of retirement, not all, but some guys in the manosphere don't think too highly of the passport bros. Now, to be fair, I have been critical of the passport bros myself. I think we all have seen, I've said stuff about the passport bros. But one thing about me, guys, is I can admit when I'm wrong.
So shout out to Alpha Male Strategist. Once again, fair use. Shout out to Alpha Male Strategist. Much respect for that, brother. And so some would say that Alpha Male Strategist is trying to get his market back. But the passport bro movement is coming so powerful that you can't sell courses because the men don't want the women because they're not quality women. And guys, this is what happens when you protest with your feet, you protest with your dollar. But it's because the typical modern woman does not deserve the love and affection of a good man. I'm going to show you guys something because we're about to go down the rabbit hole. If you're ready to go down the rabbit hole, hit 1. We're about to go down the rabbit hole, guys. If you're ready to go down the rabbit hole, hit 1. But before we go down the rabbit hole, once again, my man, Mr. Campbell, is the #1 sponsor of the stream.
It's the money.
Down the rabbit hole we go. This is the part of the show where we assess, examine, collaborate.
All right, guys, fair use. Shout out to Alpha Male Strategy. This is for education and critique. And you guys can see what I'm talking about.
I'm back, boys. So, the big topic that's floating around on YouTube in recent months is the passport bros. And today I want to talk about why the red pill guys, the manosphere guys, as a whole, not all, all right, I don't want the all police coming out of retirement, not all, but some guys in the manosphere don't think too highly of the passport bros. Now, to be fair, I have been critical of the passport bros myself. I think we all have seen, I've said stuff about the passport bros. But one thing about me, guys, is I can admit when I'm wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong. I'm a critical thinker. I don't follow the masses. Okay? So after watching Austin Holloman, a couple of his videos and stuff, and getting this logic, today I want to talk about what the passport bros get right and what they get wrong. Okay, guys, that's what I want to get into. Okay, number one, guys, the passport bros have been said to be weak if they don't want to compete for American women, or they losers if they can't get American women.
And guys, once again, that's the shame. That's the shaming language. That's the shaming language. Now think about it, guys. If you can get a Toyota RAV4, you can get a Toyota RAV4 versus an unreliable American car. What would you get? What would you get, guys, if you can get a Toyota RAV4 versus a damaged American car? And one time, guys, American built was best, but some will argue it's not as good as it used to be. But keep listening, hold tight.
Okay. I see the logic in that, but I also see the logic in the passport bros logic. Their logic is not that I can't get women. Their logic is I am not going to put up with these American women's bullshit. That's their logic. Fresh and Fit, me, a couple other guys been critical of the passport bros. I want y'all guys to hear the hypocrisy in all of our statements, what we've said about the passport bros, including myself. Fresh and Fit podcast, shout out to my brothers Fresh and Fit. It's basically bringing some crazy women on their platform and exposing how crazy and delusional they are. That's their platform. You bring some women on there, you ask them some questions to find out what's their standards, how much money their man has to make, all this, but how tall he has to be, how big his dick has to be, how long, how good his stamina has to be, what's his 40-yard dash, all this goddamn shit, right? Then you hear these delusional bitches on their show, and then you turn right around, and then you say, tell the passport bro.
And Alpha Male is right, and I'm gonna do a comparative analysis. They are delusional because these women ask for something, but they give nothing in return. And social media guys have taken average women and made average women think that they are better than the typical man. And that's a problem, guys. But shout out to Alpha Male Strategist for admitting that he was wrong. Respect to that brother.
Bro, y'all some bitches, y'all don't want to tolerate this. Dude, literally your whole platform is centered around talking about how crazy and delusional these bitches is.
Right.
And then you could critique, me included. I'm not excusing myself, guys. Me too. I've been critical of them too. I've been critical of the passport bros too. I'm not trying to say, oh, they did it. No, I did it too. I'm on.
And some of these men are coming to an existentialist crisis. They're beginning to wake up. They're beginning to see, sadly, that some of these modern women, guys, they're not worth you investing your time, your money, or your resources. Just like Alpha Male Strategy is coming to an existentialist crisis. Why am I going on these panels debating with these women? Some men are beginning to understand and see why American men are waking up and going to Africa like Austin Holloman are going to Brazil or going wherever because they're looking for good women that are traditional and good women that want to serve their men.
I'm owning it. I did it too. You can't have a platform that's centered around bringing delusional bitches on your platform and then telling guys, oh, you're pussies if you don't want to deal with this shit. You just made their point. If you look at Fresh and Fit platform, their platform makes the Passport Bros point. If you guys watch Kevin Samuels, rest in peace to the Godfather, if you watch Kevin Samuels' channel before he passed, he's making the Passport Bros point. Now, I don't think Kevin ever said anything about the Passport Bros. I don't think they got big until Austin came around. But the point being is...
No, once again, Kevin Samuels, before he passed, was telling men that they need to explore their options. And he said that if it means foreign women, so be it. While Kevin's market was more or less around or centered around dealing with American women in part, he began to understand that wasting your time with American women is not good for your mental or financial health. So Kevin had begun to see things differently, even though his branding strategy was to more or less market here in the West. But I think Kevin understood that as time was beginning to go on, that it was an effort in futility.
Kevin had 30,000 people watching him. Kevin blew up, had major platforms, No Jumper, Joe Budden, T.I., Vlad TV, all brought him on there to discuss the delusion of women in their standards. And then, out the same mouth, you got guys in the manosphere, not Kevin, but guys in the manosphere who then turn right around and tell the Passport Bros, man, y'all some bitches, y'all don't tolerate this shit. When y'all guys have seen, at least Fresh and Fit have nice, hot women on there. Kevin used to have some fucking 4s and 5s call the show. Call the show talking about they want a man who make $1 million a year. You can't make this shit up. Shout out to Godfather. You can't make this shit up. At least I would give the benefit to Fresh and Fit, the girls on Fresh and Fit platform. At least some of them, not all. They have some scalawags on there too. But some of them at least have the sexual market value to demand a high value man. Kevin used to have some bitches on there that I wouldn't fuck with my enemy dick. Seriously, I wouldn't want to touch them. Nonetheless, fuck them. Tell me they want a man who make $1 million a year. Seriously, guys.
To the 60 that are watching, guys, donate to the channel and share the stream. This is going to get good, guys. It's going to get real good later. It's going to get good. Shout out once again to Alpha Male Strategies. But it's going to get real deep and good, guys, in a few seconds. We're going to do a comparative analysis between Alpha Male Strategies. And I got a great show coming up Sunday, guys. Y'all don't want to miss that one.
And this is what we're talking about. We're talking to the Passport Bros. How dare you not want to tolerate this bullshit from these crazy bitches? You ain't your fucking mind. Ain't nobody finna. So, in that aspect, I got to say, I got to agree with the Passport Bros in that situation. You can't, the manosphere as a whole, me, every other body in the manosphere, guys, we got guys on YouTube in the manosphere. And I apologize, guys, for not looking at the camera. I was looking at myself. I got to get back used to, I ain't filmed in a while, so I was looking at myself. So I'm back making eye contact. I know y'all want me to make that good eye contact with y'all. Yeah. So you can feel like you're being seduced with my eye contact. But you got guys in the manosphere who got 3,000, 4,000 videos. Just that alone. The fact that you got 3,000 videos on how to game.
Shout out to Top Gun. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to get the market, man. Maybe he realized that the market was drying up, and Alpha Male Strategy saying, you know, I gotta get some of this revenue back. I don't know. I can't judge it, but that's a good point, Top Gun. So now he's going to coach game. he's going to game coach men that travel now. I don't know.
Hello, lucky person. You got the number right because you are talking to
shout out Top Gun for the team. I appreciate it, man.
You need to know about what's going on with the Western woman. It is absolutely ridiculous. So in that aspect, from that point of view, guys, I'm going to apologize to the Passport Bros because if I don't, we'll walk in contradiction. We'll walk in contradiction. Our whole platform, the whole manosphere platform, just shits on female nature. And then at the other side of our mouth, we're like, how dare you not want to put up with this trash? It don't make sense. So you can't get mad at guys who say,
but you know, I don't know. The passport bros and the passport movement is part of the manosphere. Even though the passport branch or the movement is just a response, may not be manosphere, but it is to some degree. They're either part of it or they are adjacent to it. So the passport movement was adjacent. There was a philosophical difference between the passport bros and what Brazil Yeesh was telling me, but it's an adjacent to the manosphere. It's an adjacent to it. It might not be 100%, but it is an adjacent to the passport movement. And that's why this conversation, guys, is so important. Because just like the passport movement is a branch, the manosphere has branches too. And so I don't know where alpha male is getting that from, but most men that are in the manosphere, they embrace the passport movement because it's a viable option.
okay, y'all go learn the strategies, this, that, and other. Now, I'm still gonna fuck American women. I'm not gonna start traveling the globe.
Shout out to Top Gun. Top Gun said a prosecutor turned defense attorney. All scam. Yeah, you could be right. You could be right, Top Gun.
Because you are talking to kid a dynamite.
You could be right.
Dynamite.
Yeah, you might be right, Top Gun. You might be right. I don't know, Top Gun. You might be right. To the Quiet Storm, he said, for tonight's therapy session, so alpha male strategy done a whole switcheroo. Meanwhile, Brother Austin's having the time of his life in Africa, and the Brazil Yeesh is continue to put out book after book. Yes, Brazil Yeesh is putting in that work, and that's a deal, right? Appreciate it.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Got 5 on it.
Because I can get women here. And I think that they can get women here. What they're saying is the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Okay? That's what they're saying. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. I haven't heard nobody say, as far as I'm concerned, maybe I'm wrong. I haven't heard the passport bro, at least not the ones that I've seen with Austin, complain about not being able to get a woman. Just the bullshit that goes with it that they talk about. So we can't criticize female nature and then point the finger at them and say, y'all, how dare you don't want to deal with this girl? That's stupid. Next, guys. So another talking point against the passport bros, besides that they supposed to be weak or they don't want to deal with these American crazy bitches, is that they get bought cooperation. Once again, I got to go with the passport bros on this. It's all bought cooperation.
Right.
It's always.
Right. Now listen, there are some women, guys, if you were pre-select, she's gonna rock with you whether you have money or not. If she's really crazy about you and you're her type, she's more willing to cooperate. But you would be a fool trying to pay for cooperation, because once that money dries up, then what else do you have? You want a woman that genuinely likes you for you. And we know the women are hypergamous, but there are 2 types of women. One is called carnal hypergamy, and one is called kosher hypergamy. Kosher hypergamy is fit and proper, like your grandmother and your great-grandmother. They didn't try to exploit men. But the modern woman, guys, practice something called carnal hypergamy. Yeah, carnal hypergamy will cause you to cry and have tears because you thought that woman loved you because of your money, your assets, and your kindness. But once the money is gone, you'll be singing that song after the love is gone. So don't be a victim of carnal hypergamy.
It has been bought cooperation. Let me tell you what happens with guys. Guys get some paper and they get women and they quickly forget how they got treated before they got paper, and all of a sudden they think it's all them. I can sit here and I can tell you right now, guys, even if you got an attachment, even if a woman is attached to your ass, that attachment is going to wear very thin if you lose your job or your income for an extended period of time. I'm gonna tell you why. Part of the attachment goes to some of the experiences you can buy. So you basically gonna have two type of women in this world, guys.
And I agree with your Blue Notes basketball, no doubt, brother. I agree with you 1,000,000%. Guys, share this stream. If you want to donate, you want me to read a response, donate to the channel. I will read your response. You can do it via Cash App or you can do it via Super Chat. Thank you, guys.
Because you're going to pay one way or another. Either you're going to pay directly via bills or cash, hands traded cash, or you're going to pay indirectly. And that's through dating and stuff like that. Guys, I am telling you right now, you're not getting no 8, 9, and 10 or 10. You can get some 6s. Yeah, they just happen to get some dick. Yeah, I give you that. Yeah, you might get some 7s. But I'm telling you right now, you're not going to keep a 8, 9, or 10. You can sleep with them a couple of times. But if you're talking about keeping a girlfriend for an extended period of time without providing some experiences or help financially, it will not happen. It won't happen. I promise you won't. Yeah, you can get lucky and she'll sleep with you a couple of times. Watch how old that get quick. Watch how, if you're not dating a woman and you're not helping her financially pay some bills, I'll guarantee you, yes, you can get some women, they'll sleep with you and you can get some dimes to do it. Watch how long it lasts. I promise you it won't last long. Because I used to do it in the basement and it's a short-lived process. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's a short-lived process.
And he's right. That's why game don't work. Game can get you in the door, but if that woman didn't have natural attraction for you, will it maintain the relationship? You're better off getting a woman that respects you and loves you and see some value in you. You got a greater chance of holding on to that woman. But if you got to use game, and when the money and game is gone, then who want to keep them acting like a rat trying to get love from a woman when they can get a woman that's love them and respect them for who they are? It doesn't make any sense, guys.
At some point, the same way when you are trying to date a woman, court a woman, and you ain't slept with her, the same way you start saying to yourself, wait a minute, what am I getting out of the deal? That's the same thing the woman is going to say eventually to herself. What the hell am I getting out of this but a wet pussy? So you either gonna date that woman or you're gonna directly help her with cash. Ain't no other ways around it. And I know this when all the incel players comes out. Boy, all the YouTube incel players, and they done slept with 10,000 women and ain't spent a dime and ain't never went on a date, and they full of bullshit. Yeah.
He's right. You're gonna pay that's why we say that, that's why people say that the marriage is the biggest hustle, because you're going to pay forever for a marriage. And with that, some of these poor men that I see in therapy, they're paying full price. Married men, they're the biggest licks. Because after they got married to that woman told that man, I don't want to have sex with you. I don't want to respect you. And now that man's paying all the bills. He's paying for everything. He might end up paying for a divorce if that woman said, I'm not happy, because that woman said, love don't live here anymore. Yeah, black love becomes a fallacy, guys. And I would say that marriage is the biggest scam for some. Shout out to all the men that got good marriages. We're not talking about the good marriages. But in general, it's a big hustle because you're paying for it. You are paying for it. So it's either directly or indirectly. And so I agree with alpha male strategists. I agree with 100%.
I slept with 1,000 women. I ain't never took a woman on a date, and I ain't never gave a woman $1. And they so full of shit it's coming out their ears. It's always been bought cooperation. Indirectly or directly. Any way you want to phrase it, you gonna pay. So whether it's Portuguese, Indian, what the rest of the Panama, wherever, Colombia, wherever the hell you go, Brazil, wherever you go, America, one way or another, you're going to pay. You're going to pay for some dates. You're going to take it to a concert. You're going to take it to nice restaurants. You're going to do something. Ain't no attractive woman with confidence going to come fuck your ass for free every goddamn day and go home. Unless she has a man that's doing that and you just a goddamn, fuck boy. That's it. The dick on the side.
And guys, y'all forgive the language of alpha male strategy. He's a little extra with the language, man. But I hope they don't demonetize me for this. But the message remains the same, guys. The message remains the same. To the 6-8 that are watching, guys, share the stream, donate to the channel. We're about to get back into it, guys. Hold tight.
The dude she got at home, his dick game is whack. And so she got you for that. And if that's your specific job, then okay. She got him to do all the dates and shit. Okay. But I'm talking about your girlfriend. Oh, you can forget it. You can fucking forget it. You get it 1-2 times now. You get it 1-2 times before she started to say, wait a minute now. You know what she gonna say? You know, y'all guys know when I done had girls who, because in the basement I ain't had shit, right? So, I ain't had shit. I couldn't take girls on dates or whatever, so I had to invite them back and stuff. I ain't had no money. So, you know what happened? You know what they would say after about the second time you didn't have sex, maybe the third? How about we go out to eat Friday? How about we go out on Friday? Because now they starting to feel like a damn fool. Just letting you know, guys. Now, I want to talk about what they get wrong. What the passport bros get wrong is the same way you go to these other countries and you get bulk cooperation, you get it here, the standard has just changed. You have to be a high value man these days. Due to social media, women have more options and access to the high value man. So the guys, so listen, you do what the fuck you want to do. I'm tired of talking to you motherfuckers. Do what the hell you want to do. I'm tired of, I'm not going to beg you, do the hell you want to do. I am telling you now, in this day and age, the day of just being a warehouse worker, scraping by, getting by, you're going to struggle with women. I'm just letting you know. The bar has been raised.
Well, he's wrong. He's right and wrong. You don't have to be a high value man. Status helps, but he's wrong because there are women in their country that are average to subpar men that are just getting by. Now, if you go over to other countries leading with money instead of leading with your personality, then you mess the market up and you take those women that have been trained to be wild to think that they're better and they start adapting to American ideas. But I don't agree with that per se, because being a warehouse worker and that money in the country, that money can go a long way. So I disagree with that. He's partially right, but he's also partially wrong. Because you don't have to be a high value man overseas. You don't have to be a high value man. You can be a working class man with a decent salary. Your $40,000 but do well in foreign countries. So I disagree with that. You don't have to be a high value man. Now, if you want the top of foreign women to the single men, then I agree.
The day of you being able to make 40, 50 grand a year and you can't compete with the men these days with that. What the fuck y'all think these girls going getting all these bodies done and stuff shit? Because they trying to compete. That's why, listen, once a few girls started going getting these BBLs and all this shit, Brazilian butt lifts and all this other shit and liposuction and shit, then all the other girls got to follow suit to compete. When America developed the nuclear bomb, Russia said, hell, we got to build one too. We got to compete. When Russia built their little Sputnik, whatever that damn shit, what that shit was, Sputnik spaceship. America said, shit, we got to get some spaceships in space too. We got to compete. The bar for men, as in getting laid, it's changed. It's completely changed. You got to be on your shit today, so you just can't compete with other men these days. Because women have too much access to men with more resources today. That's just what it is. So if you want to be a struggling guy that goes over and you go to Brazil and the standard over there might be cheaper than what it is over here, but that's just what it is. The same way you get that bulk cooperation over there, you get it over here, it just takes more. Over there, maybe you get it with 40. Over here, you probably need 140. That's what it is. I don't make the rules. That's what it is. It used to be once upon a time where if you was a woman with a flat butt, but if you had some big boobs and a cute face, you were good to go. That don't hold true no more. You got to get some ass back there now. I'm sorry. Now, yes, I'll be the first one to tell you some of these girls lost their damn mind and it looks disgusting. But for the girls that do it the right way, where they get it just a little bit to where you can't even tell the way it's supposed to be done. Not some shit where you look like a fucking ant. Like Kevin Hart said, when did women become ants? Well, y'all guys who didn't see his last stand-up show, I did. He got a little joke, but.
And what alpha male strategists don't understand, everybody can't be this high value man. Men that make 100,000, 150,000, still a small percentage of the population. Most median incomes are around about 60 to 70. Here in North Carolina, the median income for a family is about 69. That's what the man and the woman working. So I don't believe that. I understand what he's saying in part, but you don't have to. If everybody's a high value man, then it's gonna flood the market with inflation. Somebody got to be a working class or average class man. If that man is a hard working man, he's a good man, then that woman will love that man, especially if that woman has a natural attraction for that man. We know there are a lot of women that practice hoflation. We understand that, but I think he's taking it out of context to some degree.
Anyway, yeah, that shit look ridiculous. But the women doing that because that's what it takes to compete these days. You got it. I don't know what else to tell you. What do you want me to tell you?
But I disagree with that because black men never asked black women to get all this cosmetic crap. Black women are competing and white women are competing with themselves. They're not necessarily doing this for men. They're competing with themselves, in my opinion.
I don't make the fucking rules. This is what we're dealing with. This is the hand we're dealt. No more struggling warehouse workers. You will struggle with women. You will struggle with women. I'm telling you that right now. I don't know what else.
That's a myth. You can make money. You can make a lot of money and struggle with women. I knew guys in practice that were millionaires, almost near millionaires, neurosurgeons. So that's a myth, man. Money alone. Listen, I'm not going, men, you should never use your money and your status as a barometer to attract a woman. I don't believe that. I believe money does help. And I believe that money can get you in the door. But money alone will not keep you in the door. If you're socially awkward, if you don't know how to talk and act as a man, that money will get you in the door, but that money alone will not keep you in the door. You got to have some personality and you got to have some street smarts. So I don't agree with that in totality. I understand what he's saying, but I don't agree with that in totality.
To tell you, for one, women have been brainwashed. They go on Instagram and they see this woman got this bag, this woman on this trip here, and so now they all want it. So you have to compete. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Next, they talk about females and how difficult. Just have zero patience. You just gotta have zero patience for their ass. Any little thing, get your ass on. Flaky behavior, responding to text messages the next day, any little bullshit, just, I'm done, move on. So the same way women have adapted, you have to adapt and have even smaller tolerance than before.
Now, I do agree with him on that. Remember, assimilation, accommodation, adaptation. Many men have been assimilated to put women on pedestals. They began to accommodate women by giving women the things they shouldn't give them. But men gotta not stop giving women things, make them earn it, and adapt like women are adapting. So I agree with alpha male strategists on that. I agree with that part in part.
Because you know a lot of women on that bullshit today with all that flaky behavior due to the options. So you got to be more on point with your zero tolerance for bullshit. Whereas back in the day, you might give a woman the benefit of the doubt. If she responded to you the next day, you might say, well, maybe she did drop her phone in the toilet, or maybe she did forgot to respond to it. Now I'm just like, fuck that bullshit. Zero tolerance. And last, guys, for the passport bros, what they get wrong, and a lot of you guys get wrong, it's always been a numbers game. So one of the biggest things I've seen guys get wrong, you young guys, for some reason you come to this conclusion that women back in my day, when I was 20 years ago, that they were these sweet little angels. Guys, I am sitting here and telling you right now, I used to go out and get phone numbers at the mall, Walmart. I can sit here and I can tell you right now, so I can put this shit to bed for all you guys who just think that women were these sweet little angels 20 years ago, that they always been trash. Me and my brother,
Well, listen, I agree with alpha male strategist in part. He's right. They were never sugar and spice and everything nice. A lot of them were just sneaky. They hid it better. They had more shame in the past. But these 3 or 4 now ain't got no shame. And God, this is where you get so hurt because you were trained to think that they were these sweet women, they were honest women, they were noble women, and that they were noteworthy women, but they were never noteworthy. Now, don't get me wrong. I think some women in part, I would say at least 50%, they were still better. You still have 50% that were worse. The 50% that were decent women that have the influence of social media. Now, some of those women that were decent women, I'm not saying women were getting it in like that. Were there women getting it in the 90s? Yeah, they were getting it in, but they were just sneaky with it. They were quiet with it. You know, they would knock off a guy on campus, but you would never know about it. Now that it's out with it. So it ain't nothing new under the sun, guys. There ain't nothing new under the sun. It ain't nothing special about women. They're just human beings like you human beings. But we've been taught to think that there's sugar and spice and everything nice. And so it ain't nothing new under the sun, guys. Nothing new under the sun, to say the least. I do believe the women were better to impart because there were greater demands and shame was great. I don't think women were giving their bodies away like that. Not saying they weren't doing it, but I don't think the numbers were as high. There was some still getting, women were getting it in back in the 60s, 70s, and the 80s too. But women had a greater level of respect and there was shame, and you didn't see the behaviors now. And even they were doing it, they hid it because it was shameful behavior.
My friends, we used to go to the mall, go to Walmart, whatever. We knew we had to get fucking 25, 30 numbers just to get 3 of them, to see 3 of them again. We knew that. We knew, man, we got to get 30 numbers this weekend, and maybe you'll see 3 of them again. And you'll call the girls, and here you go. You call the girls, hey, what's up, Samantha? Hey, who this? Oh, this Franklin. Franklin. Where I met you at? Oh, you met me at the mall. By what store? Oh, by Foot Locker. What you had on? That's just how many dudes she done gave her number to. You got to describe where you met her, how tall you was, what shoes you had on, what time of day it was, what she had on. Was it Saturday or was it Sunday? Because that's just how much she done gave her number away that weekend. And she still, after you tell all that shit, she still might not can't remember you because she done gave her number out 100 times. These girls have always been trash. I want y'all guys to get out your head that, man, these guys back in the day, they had it so good and we got it so bad. It's always been a numbers game. Women have always been frustrating. I remember, guys, I told y'all guys I used to live with a girl. And then we would go through our breakups, right? A month, 2 month breakup. So then, you go back in the club. You go back to the club. You like, yeah, I'm free again. Man, after about 2 or 3 weeks, man, I've been waiting for my girl to call me back. Man, this trash. I remember being in the club telling her, man, this is trash. I'm like, my girl called me back like, hey, can we work out there? Because I knew better than to call her because I had already went through that earlier in my life with calling girls back and seeing how they treat you when you get them the power, right? So I wasn't going to call her. I already had to learn that lesson. So she'll call me, well, I'll sprint my ass home. Trash. So I want y'all guys to get out your head.
And guys, that's why we do these shows so young men won't have to go through what we've went through. Because manhood is a series of hills and valleys. You're born male, but you become men, or men do trials and tests. Because we don't want young men to go through some of the things that we went through. We want to teach them and teach them what to look for or look out for so that they don't become slaves of some of the bad behaviors of some of these women. 5 people have donated to the Super Chat, guys. Donate to the channel. Shout out to my man, Sean Campbell, the #1 sponsor, guys. We'll get back into it. Hold tight.
That guys do y'all guys got a little worse? Absolutely, with social media and all this, that, and other. I also can make an argument that y'all got it better with social media. You just have to be, take better pictures and be higher value. I can make that argument too, right? I couldn't sit on my couch on Tuesday and swipe right, swipe left. I had to get out and go to Walmart. Y'all guys know how to go to Walmart, right? So you don't want to look like you in Walmart looking for women. So you got to get a bucket, you got to get a little basket and put a juice in there and maybe a loaf of bread and walk around and get phone numbers and shit. Well, you couldn't swipe right and swipe left. So I can make an argument that y'all guys got it okay too. But we'll say that for another day. But I want y'all guys to...
Shout out to a man, Arthur Will. He said, body count be higher than a garden tool. Body count be higher than a garden tool spelled inverted on the calculator. Yeah, man. A lot of ran through, man.
Get out y'all head that the older guys had it so much better. They were trash too. I remember when me and my ex would break up, man, I'd be like, man, this trash. Man, the guy, I'll tell y'all, man, I had a girl in the club. We had already had and talked a couple times. Bought her a couple drinks. None came of it. Saw her in this club this specific night. She already know I'm finna shut her down since I already done bought her drinks before in the club and get shit out of it. So she already know. So guess what she do? Tell something. I'm going home with you here. Hold my phone. Put my phone in your pocket. That's her way to get me to buy her a drink, right? So, because I went for the buy her shit, because I already bought this bitch some drinks, and I ain't get shit out of it but a pat on the back. So she done tell me, hey, hold my phone. I'm leaving with you. Here this bitch come after I bought her a drink. I'm thinking like, man, I'm gonna tear that ass up tonight. Here she come about an hour or so later, hour and a half later. Tell me something. Give me my phone. I gotta go home. I gotta go pick up my kids. I said, this sneaky bitch. I gotta go and pick up my kids. This sneaky bitch. So the point I tell y'all guys all this shit, I tell y'all guys that to let you know, y'all guys got to get out y'all head that women it's always been a numbers game. Women have always been about games and trash and all this other shit. They always been like that. It's always so.
Shout out to a man, Arthur Will, for the $2 super sticker. He said ran through more than a green light.
Hello, lucky person.
You're right, brother. You're dynamite.
Because you are talking to kids.
It's true.
A dynamite. You're dynamite.
Very true.
A lot of the passport bros, some of the stuff y'all say, okay, I give y'all the benefit of the doubt. As a red pill manosphere guy, I can't critique y'all for going overseas when our platform.
Big Truck, if that's you in the back, I gotta make sure it's you, brother. Show me your face real quick.
Yes, women are bad, but
I gotta make sure it's you, brother.
They've gotten bad.
I don't know if it's a troll.
Trash. And I'm out this motherfucker, and I'll get back with you guys later.
All right. So, Big Truck, do me a favor, brother. Okay, I see you, brother. Good, gotcha. All right. We got my man Big Truck in the house, the big homie. I call him Big and Smalls. Big Truck, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother?
Hey, how are you? Good evening. Yeah, I saw your email, but I was out with some chick going to the bank, and I didn't have a chance to respond. But
no, you good,
how are you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. You know, Big Truck, you and I in the 6'5", 6'6" club, man. We're big dudes, man. But this whole passport movement, you know, alpha male strategy coming out saying he was wrong. How you want to respond to it, Big Truck, and the vibrancy of the passport movement?
All right. Well, first of all, an alpha male strategy, I could spend a short amount of time talking about him. But the bottom line is he came out attacking us just like everybody else.
Right.
And my guess is that the passport bros have cut so deeply into these dating coaches' pockets until at this point now they're realizing, oh, my goodness, I think these dudes were onto something. Because the thing about it is, as you pointed out, you go overseas, the entire experience is different. The dating experience is different. You don't need all this so-called game.
Right.
You don't have to be perfect, but the women overseas are varying in different countries. I mean, they all have different desires and this, that, and other. But for the most part, dating is in better faith than it is here. You know? So alpha male strategy, you know, listen, if other passport bros want to accept his apology, fine by me. I personally don't. He told us who he was in the very beginning.
Right.
If he hadn't had his pockets hit, then he wouldn't be apologizing. You know, and that's the reality.
Right.
So now he understands what it means. See, the thing about it is, and I typed this as a comment. Mm-hmm. Kevin Samuels, the manosphere, all it is, including the passport bros, all it is has basically been a continuation of the gender war. Mm-hmm. The thing about it is it's being done in a way where you can't say necessarily that it's the gender war, and you can't say that it's not, because when you call yourself passport bros, or you're just talking about traveling and this, that, and other, on the surface, it doesn't look like this is war on Keisha. But when you dig deep into it, everybody's basically saying the exact same thing that they're saying in the manosphere, and they're saying the exact same thing that Kevin Samuels is saying.
Right.
So what YouTube ultimately did these women in, because what they did was they monetized talk between men.
Right.
And normally, when you have no organization and you have no centralization, normally when you had those things, they could attack it and they could shut it down.
Right.
Now they can't. See, they went after Andrew Tate over what? I still don't know. And they were able to get somebody like him because he was organized and he was centralized. So you know exactly who the dude is, and he's telling you what he stands for. But with Passport Bros, we can't even get a full definition of what Passport Bros are, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't accept white men being Passport Bros. I call them Passport Joes or something else. And the reason why you have to do that is because you can't associate yourself with people you have no idea who these people are. We've got passport pookies going down to countries and then claiming they don't have enough money for a return ticket. And I'm trying to figure out, like, how did you get into the country if you didn't have money for a return ticket? They don't allow you to do that.
Right.
So my thing is, no, the Passport Bros as it is, it's going to go through its evolution. Already you got dudes trying to fight over trademarks and trying to fight over who named it and this, that, and other. The same thing happened in Manosphere. You had them fight, you know, and then you get the people hating on certain people within the Passport Bros community, and you know, certain people disavowing themselves, other people trying to disavow the people. It's like they make it look like it's a big grift, but the reality is, at the end of the day, these dudes are seeing that if they get their passports and they go overseas, not only is it going to change their outlook on life, but chances are, if they do find a relationship, it's going to give them a better future that they normally wouldn't have had here. And that's the bottom. And that's the main staple that makes it so that the Passport Bros are going to win no matter what.
No, I totally agree. Shout out to my man, the Art of Will, for the two. He said alpha male tragedies to accountability. let me show you some, Big Truck. And I call it the passport movement because there's so many branches of it. But tell me what you think about this real quick, Big Truck. Because I think it's a very I think it's a very diverse class. I think it's a movement with many branches. The Men's Option Group, Al Grease and Charles Tyler played a role in that evolution. With Frustrated 3, the movie that I was in. But then the Blue Book Gentleman with Brazil Yeesh, he got a more bougie flavor feel, in my opinion. But then someone said the Passport Bro was created by Aaron Ferris. I don't know. It probably was. I don't know. But then Austin was somewhat under that branch. Even though they said that the people made Austin the leader, no one made Austin the leader. He became the leader. He became the face by default. So I call it the movement. But what do you say to the critics to say the Manosphere made Austin the leader? Because nobody made Austin the leader. It was just by default that Austin came into fruition. What's your take on that and the way we got to set up? I got to set up.
Well, basically on YouTube, it's like whoever's at the top, it basically comes down to subscriber supremacy, right? Austin Holloman built a TikTok based on bashing American black women. And then when he got on here, that was like actually the first time I had really heard the term Passport Bros even used, when they were referring to him. So when he got on here, he built his channel even more on YouTube. And then when he says, yeah, I'm no longer a Passport Bro or I disavow Passport Bros, he's still doing Passport Bro content. That's like you going to Mount Rushmore and George Washington tries to get off. It's like, you can't get off. You're part of this. Now, as far as leaders, there is no leader. It's a decentralized, unorganized movement. There's no leader. I don't know if you were invited to it, but I didn't sit down to a swearing-in ceremony where he put his hand on a Bible and said that, or he put his hand on a passport and he says, yes, well, I am the de facto leader of the passport. I don't ever remember sitting down for that ceremony. So they associated it with him, rightfully so. And the reason why I say that is because in the very beginning, I was enthusiastic about him because normally the women were attacking Passport Bros. Oh, you're fat, you're bald, you're ugly, blah, blah, blah. Now you got somebody who's young, has all his hair, is a barber for whatever reason, and is traveling, and we're posting all these receipts. Again, this is war on Keisha. They've made war on black men. This is war on Keisha. These photos, these videos overseas have been weaponized and they are weaponized against the psyche of the women here. That's what it is. It's gender warfare, and the height of it is putting a wedding ring on a foreign woman's finger and bringing her back here or staying over there with her. That's the height of it.
That's the height of it, right? I totally agree.
But everything else is propaganda. It's just firing shots across the bow.
Well, you know what? I understand why Austin. I don't think Austin has nothing against the passport. I understand what you're saying, the movement ideology, but he realized that there were some people in the movement that were dangerous, that did cutthroat stuff behind his back, that made him lose steam. But I think Austin still want black men to travel, but now he's promoting Africa. So like you were saying, he's still a part of the passport movement, but he just don't associate with some passport bros. But he's still a passport bro in my mind, because he want men to travel, but he want men to date African women. As Austin began to evolve and grow, I know why he said and did what he did, and he was supposed to be on the show tonight. But he went through some things. There were some guys that were undermining him, trying to mess with his girl, and so I think that left a negative taste in his mouth. But I think Austin still want to see men travel, and to the single men like yourself, get good women that can be wise. What's your take on that?
Well, I mean, as far as his internal motivations, that's something that I would leave for him to answer. But the reality is, just because he went to Africa, I've been to Africa too. Just because you go to Africa, that doesn't really mean anything, because you're still at war with Keisha here. So what it is like black American women, ADOS women, whatever you want to call them, you're going overseas and you're still getting a woman who's nothing like the one here. So no, that's the gender war is still on. So my point, like for instance, I have two friends. One of them is currently engaged to a Caribbean black woman, and the other one's engaged to an African black woman. And the thing about it is, you think to yourself, these are American black men. You couldn't find an American black woman here. And the reality is, you already know why they either couldn't find one or didn't want one. It's because of the attitudes, for one, and it's the culture that they're disgusted with. So they're branching out. And I had nothing to say about that as far as I'm concerned, Godspeed. But, as far as Austin, he's still doing Passport Bro content. That's his entire channel. That's his reason for being. It's like, again, you can't get off from Mount Rushmore once you're on it. You can't get off. Right.
And like the author will say, his father was trying to hit up Kate behind his back. And so I think once again, I know Austin is still believing the passport movement. He's part of the movement, but there were some grimy guys that were going behind his back, and he was saying that some of the things he was talking about. What people don't understand on Big Truck is that in this space, I think overall is this average good guys like yourself. I consider you a high value man. But then there are some guys there's a percentage that probably are socially awkward, got a visceral hatred for women, and they just never evolved. They still on red pill rage. But I think that's an outlier. I don't think that's the large percentage. I think most guys in this space are good, hardworking, blue collar, white collar men, and then you got the higher tier, high value men that got money and status. And so, you're going to always have standard deviations from the mean. But, Big Truck, you and I both are learned men. You're an educated man like myself. Dr. William Glasser talked about reality therapy and power, fun, freedom, belonging, and survival. When did you come to your existentialist crisis and you realize, it's now time for me to travel and look for my potential future wife or who I want to date over abroad?
Well, I wouldn't say that I reached an existential crisis. I actually ended up traveling first, and not the first time I traveled, I went to China as a student, and I stayed over in Shanghai, China, right?
Right.
And when I got there, I honestly wasn't looking for women, but one came and found me. Mm-hmm. And when I started dating her, I realized right away that she actually cared about her image in my eyes, and she cared about what I thought about, dealings with her. And I realized that she cared what I thought. And then I looked back and I was like, wait a minute, these American women, they don't give a damn what we say to them. They don't care what we think, and they're always trying to undermine us. And that right there said, you know what? I don't think I want to date American women in general. And over time, the situation, not really with me, but the situation only got worse because the more and more I looked at it, and as things declined, because we're talking about a period of time between 2001 and now. It's like, as I saw like the situation decline, I was like, yeah, I don't think that this is a good movement to date with American women, especially not to marry them. I think it's like playing Russian roulette, honestly.
I agree. I totally agree. I agree with you.
And by the way, when you point out learned men and wealthy men and high value men, you have to remember all of us, including white men too, all of us are basically suffering from grief dealing with these women and enemy of some. We're suffering from grief and enemy, all of us.
Right.
And as you know, grief has multiple stages. At the last stage being acceptance. Right. The first stage, denial, anger, grief, bargaining, and whatnot. These men on the manosphere, some of them have tried to bargain with these women, and they know that's a dead end. And others are just angry, so they're just red pill raging. They're in that stage.
Right.
But once you accept it, you grab your passport, and then you realize, I don't have to deal with this at all, and I can get a better deal overseas. But as far as this, black men in general are suffering from grief and enemy. They know that this culture is poison. They know it's toxic. They know that their position in this country is not secure. They know that their position in this country is always going to be second tier. So they're like, to hell with this. They could let it burn. They could care less.
Right. And that goes back. I don't know if you're familiar with a guy, big truck named Irving Yalom. Are you familiar with him?
Irving Yalom. I might have heard of him.
Right. So he talked about the 11 stages of group therapy, and I equate this space to cyber group therapy. And one of the tenets that Irving Yalom talked about, let me show it to you real quick. He talked about instilling hope. You talked about the stage of the grief, but he also talked about instilling hope. And one of the things that some of these men went through was an existentialist crisis. This is literally virtual group therapy. It's cyber group therapy. One part was the catharsis, the release of emotion, expression of emotion in a safer environment. This is the first time where men have been able to express their feelings. Now, we know that there are hyenas and people try to shame them, but it's a safe place for American men, especially black men, to share their pain. Many of them was going through what's called installation of hope. Encouragement that recovery is possible by sharing stories and information. Do you see that causation? You see the correlation?
Yes.
And then one part was called universality. That means there's a common struggle, big truck, that we all men struggle with. The universality of brotherhood is that there's a crisis in heteronormative masculinity, where men are not understood, men are not respected, white and black, but especially the black men. And so it's the universality of brotherhood. It's a common struggle that men in the West struggle with. And then imparting information, teaching about problems and learning factual information about treatment options. Do you see my point?
Yeah.
Treatment options. So what's the treatment option? The passport movement. The men's option group is our option for treatment. The treatment is to go to places where you can get an intervention that can be beneficial to you. What you're doing with a passport, Big Bros, passport class, Brazil Yeesh, and also the passport bros. So it's all men coming together because we knew something was wrong, Big Truck. A lot of men knew something was wrong, but they didn't have a centrality of thought where they were saying the same thing. I see clients all the time, Big Truck, and if I had to do a randomized sample, out of 50, at least 45 all say the same thing. So what does that say? If 45 or at least 90% or 95% of the men out of a small randomized sample are saying the same thing, what does that say about the state of the West, in your opinion?
Yeah, they're basically all experiencing the same things, and they're reaching the exact same position. Ultimately, that happened because of COVID. COVID locked us down long enough for everybody to be stuck at home, not doing anything, nowhere to go, nothing to do. And then during that time, Kevin Samuels blew up. And once Kevin Samuels got everybody watching that show, then all these dudes saw, like some people saw how much money there was to be made doing this. and some people decided that they were going to do this themselves and they were going to put their own spin on it. But ultimately, that's what happened. COVID forced you to sit down and think.
Right.
It forced you to stay still. And that's something men never get to do because they're always working at some point.
Right.
So COVID said, yeah, guess what? All of you are going to sit down. You're not leaving. You're not going anywhere. There's nowhere to go. You're going to sit down. And now you turn on your internet, you turn on your computer, and now everybody's talking about this. And that's what blew Kevin Samuels up. And once he's gone, then the Passport Bros blew up. Because now, and that was another thing. During COVID, we couldn't travel. And during COVID, you had people who were Passport Bros saying, yeah, well, all of y'all are talking about having all these problems. Have you ever tried dating overseas? Right. And initially, people were like, oh, that's a stupid idea. They reject it. But then as soon as those borders opened up, look what happened. You have a record number of flights to the Philippines, record number of flights to Dominican Republic, record number of flights to Thailand. This is a financial thing. Delta is building more planes because travel is booming so much. They see passports being requested and registered at a rate they've like never seen before. So no, this is not only caught on, but this is going somewhere. This is actually this is doing something. This is a solution right here.
Oh, it's a strong solution. I want you to help me critique. I saw you on Ramir's channel. I was laughing at Ramir. Ramir's a funny dude.
Yeah.
And let's look at Ramir's critique of alpha male strategy. And guys, do me a favor. We got a big truck in the house. They don't get no bill in the big truck. But donate to the channel, guys. We got 71 in the house. Only 8 people have donated, guys. The same people. Donate to the channel, guys. Go subscribe to Big Truck Passport Business Class. Go check out his channel. Donate to the channel, guys, because I'm a content creator and a professional. These shows are time consuming, so donate to the channel. If you have not donated to the channel, I appreciate it, man. But let's look at Ramil real quick on Big Truck and tell me, Ramil is funny. So shout out to Ramil. Shout out to Ramil. Got number of respect for that dude. He's funny, though. I don't agree with everything he say, but I respect his point. But I want you to listen to this.
In this video, he apologized. He's saying he was wrong. Y'all must have fucked his business up, man. All right, that shit crazy, man. Let me get to this shit real quick, man. All right, so AMS, I think he kind of disses Fresh and Fit too. All right, so he's copping pleas with the Passport Bros. I think he's trying to ask for forgiveness. All right, he's trying to ask for forgiveness. Shout out to Django Geek. He says SBE ninjas don't die, they just multiply. Yeah, that shit getting crazy out here, man.
So what's your whole take on this? Cause listen. It's almost like a preacher, Big Truck. We know that many modern women are not going to change, but that's besides the point. There are still men that are coming in on the conveyor belt. There are still young women that are looking for answers. So it's not so much that you're trying to change women and make them change, but just like the gospel, you got to keep teaching and preaching. It's irrelevant whether or not they're going to change, but you got to teach and preach anyway. What's your take on that, real quick, Big Truck?
Well, the reality is, it's the women aren't really the problem. The problem is the laws and the system that have been built up to support these women to the point where they feel that they don't need or have to respect the men. That's what it really comes down to, because a lot of these women, they're complaining on these female dating channels and these female journals. They're complaining that they can't get dates. It used to be where guys would take them out. They can't do that anymore. So now they have to do everything on their own. They have Valentine's Day where women go out together. I took a date out last Valentine's Day, and I've noticed this for like the last 2 years. I see fewer and fewer couples. Like, you don't see men and women dressed up. Right. And you see women at a table together, and they're literally doing Valentine's Day. These women are miserable. Their egos won't allow them to say that. And they're complaining constantly. That's what they were going on Kevin Samuels' channel for. Right. And the thing about it, like, from what I've always said the same thing about Kevin Samuels. I felt like Kevin Samuels was an air traffic controller who was given directions to airplanes after they've already crashed. And my point, it was like he was holding marriage as a carrot on the stick. But these women were in no way, shape, or form ready for marriage or even moving in that direction. Right. So the reality ultimately is in this country, women have been given incentives over men. They feel entitled. They feel more empowered than the men. And as long as a woman has more power than a man, they're never going to respect them at all. And if they don't respect the men, then that's the question. What are the men to do? Because the man's reason for being is to be respected by a woman who's basically going to build his legacy, not hers. That's the problem. Men are hardwired through evolution for hunter gathering. We go out, we buy stuff, we bring it home. The woman is the one thing that you go out and get and bring home where there's a risk that she may take everything or half of your shit and leave. That's the one thing. Men are in no way prepared to deal with this mentally. The fear of a woman being on her phone texting and the possibility of her texting somebody else or getting dick pics or something like that. The reality is, like, women try to say, oh yeah, well, you're just how should I say, you're insecure. No, there's a real fear there. There's a real fear in men over stuff like that. They feel that, they don't have to do what you tell them. They don't have to listen to you. They're not here to build your legacy. They're here to be boss babes. So what are the men to do? I keep saying, get your passport.
Right. No, I totally agree. Taxation without representation and the mental breaking of the American male. That's what I call it. Shout out to my man Byron Hammer for the $4.99 pound. I appreciate it. And also shout out to Passport OG. He said, loving this Christmas cake. I love it when you say that Christmas cake, man. That's funny.
Oh, God, I love doing that. I do it extemporaneously.
All right, hold tight.
I got to tell the whole story.
I love that Christmas cake, man. That's funny, man. Hold on a minute. Let me see. I'm trying to find that. Trying to find that link. Hold tight. I'm trying to find that link. Yeah, that Christmas cake. Every time I hear, I start laughing, man. When you said that Christmas, when you said that Christmas cake.
Crazy. I said T'Challa ain't getting them Avengers checks no more. Y'all niggas stupid.
Avengers.
Tether SBE. Yeah, he trying, man. He trying to make his mark, nigga.
Back, man.
You know, recommending this shit on my Instagram, man. Shout out to Juan. He said she called herself promiscuous. What more do you need? Look, man. It is what it is, man. Look, red flags everywhere. Shout out to everybody. All right, we're gonna get to this real quick. I seen this. So he must really be, I was like, damn, nigga, that was like 8 months ago. Why you still?
All right, I don't know what happened to her. I got to find. Let me go back and find. But yeah. So what did you think about the interview? I was laughing at Ramil. Let me see if I can find this file. But I think I saw you on the stream, Big Truck.
Yeah, I was on it.
And hold tight. Let me see. And give me your take. Hold on.
Getting that. But I also see the logic in the Passport Bros logic. Their logic is not that I can't.
Oh, I was wrong. Damn, this nigga, yo. Yeah, he finna come out with the foreign dating course. He something, dog. He must have took a hit.
So what's your take on what Ramil is saying, man? Ramil think he's scrambling because he's losing money. What's your take on that?
Well, this is the second time that Ramil covered AMS because he was on Fresh and Fit show, and this was a while ago. Ramil covered him when he was on there too, and ultimately, it's like, yeah, I agree with Ramil on this. Because I've been saying the exact same thing. These dating coaches, they'd have to be losing market share because we've literally shown dudes a better way. And this whole thing about working on yourself, that's not going to change the fact that you're still in America dealing with American laws and dealing with a culture that's polluted and toxic. It's not going to change any of that. No matter how you could have a 6-pack, you could be 7 feet tall, and you could have a 12-inch package down there. That's not going to change the fact that because these chicks are divorcing dudes left and right.
Left and right.
These dudes are celebrities. These are rich celebrities.
Yes,
these
sir.
dudes are These women are divorcing them and taking half their stuff.
Right.
A man can't build anything in that kind of environment. You can't build like that.
I totally agree.
So getting that passport, going overseas, finding women who want to be wives, want to be married, who've been indoctrinated to want to do these things, that's the most logical decision.
I totally agree.
It's absolutely the most logical decision. I will agree. A lot of dudes can't get the women that they want here, but on second thought, would you really want them if you could?
Right. Because you have no control over it. You know, they got cell phones. They can text and call and be with multiple men. You would never know about it, and so it's risky.
Put you right in family court, and next thing you know, you're working just to pay child support, or you're working just to pay alimony. Like you saw what DeSantis did down in Florida, and now you got these white women up in arms. Oh yeah, we're going to go Democrat now.
Right.
You know, you saw the DeSantis ended that unlimited alimony.
Mm-hmm.
That should have never been a law in the first place.
Right.
Why should I have to? I'm not your slave. See, that's what the Democrat Party has put together here. They've created a welfare state that has grown so big that now the men have decided to simply opt out. Right. And they're opting out by getting their passports and not messing with the women here. Statisticians are saying by 2030, the majority of women here are going to be single and childless. Even if I give them another 10 years, even if I give them 2040, what does that say about you if your men in your country don't want to deal with you? What does that say?
Yes, sir. Right. I heard about that big truck. Shout out to my man IH for the 20. As he's one of the number one sponsors of the stream, he said, I appreciate the content, and that's a deal, right? Appreciate it, IH.
That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
For showing love,
that's
sir.
A bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Got 5 on it.
That nigga.
I can admit when I'm a critical thinker. I don't follow the masses. Okay? So after watching Austin Holloman, a couple of his videos and stuff, getting this logic.
And funny thing about that, Austin Holloman is dissing the passport, bro. We're going to get to that next. That's the funny part. So this nigga late.
Shout out to my man MC Recovering Wellness. He said, show hidden kosher and women from 20 years ago wants to date me at full price relationships. Can't make this shit up. Hello, big head. What your dog call? Yeah, he's right, man. You're right.
Hello, lovely person.
Thank you, brother.
You got the number right.
You're a good brother, man. I appreciate it. They're coming back. Have they been coming back to you, big truck? The ones that show you no love in your 20s, trying to get some of your resources.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, the hey big head calls. I've already gone through that. See, and that's another thing. Kevin Samuels just brought it all out. We're still saying basically the same stuff that he had brought up over his tenure, I'll call it. But that hey big head, those calls, yeah, we've been getting them calls. I got one of them calls earlier.
Oh yeah. And to be fair, Angry Man, shout out to the Angry Man has been saying, Angry Man is one of the founders. The brother's been chopping up for years, and Obsidian as well. And some other brothers, man. O'Shea, I believe. Let's finish listening to what a real Miller is saying. Hold tight.
Austin Holloman don't even fuck with the passport bros no more. Austin Holloman got a fucking tattoo. That shit is funny.
And once again, that's a myth. Austin Holloman still supports the passport movement, but he has distanced himself from some slimy men in the passport bro movement based on how they did him. So it's not that he had this idea that I don't like passport brothers no more. He knows that some of these guys in the movement were snakes. And so he's still a passport movement aficionado. He just don't deal with some of the men that call themselves passport bros.
It's hell, but anyway, let's see this play he's trying to pull right here, man. This nigga was on Fresh and Fit talking hella shit about the passport bros. Stand on it. See, I stand on it. I don't give a fuck. I'll roast the hell out them niggas. I don't give a shit. I don't disagree with as a whole what they're doing, but a lot of that shit is just goofy. Shit, I don't give a fuck. This nigga like, nah, I need to get back in. He need that market share. Yeah, this nigga was roasting the fuck out of passport bros on Fresh and Fit. I remember that.
Today I want to talk about what the passport bros get right and what they get wrong. Okay, guys, that's what I want to get into. Okay, number one, guys, the passport bros have been said to be weak.
Drew's World says AMS still recording from an iPhone, no mic. He ain't invested all in YouTube. Let me tell y'all the biggest myth. You know what I'm saying? And he's still getting views, dog. Like that, dog. When niggas say you need all these tools.
Fresh and Fit, me, a couple other guys been critical of the Passport Bros.
So Big Struggle, why all the animus, man? Well, we know partly because these guys know we're hitting the market share. They don't want guys, to travel because we killing their market share up and they're losing money. But besides that, why are these guys so crazy about men traveling? Because they don't even believe the things that they're saying about dating. What's your take on that, brother?
Well, unfortunately, the way it is, they're going to be monetized regardless how they feel about it or regardless what they say. So if there's more money in being in it, they'll be in it or they'll cozy up to it. If they feel that there's more money in being against it, then they'll speak out against it. Whatever drives views, whatever drives clicks, basically. So bottom line is, he didn't I don't know if he even thought about what the Passport Bros was saying in the very beginning, but he came right out and attacked it. In the very beginning, he came right out and attacked it. Mm-hmm. Just like most of these other dudes, these content creators have. A lot of these dudes attacked it. But the reality was we were proven right through time because at the end of the day, they're turning out a crap product, and they know it. So if anybody is grifting, it's these dating coaches. Mm-hmm. These are guys that are grifters, and they want to call Passport Bros. They want to say that the grifters, and they want to say, oh yeah, well the women are the same overseas as they are here. And you know what was funny? If I'm not mistaken, he got pinned down on one of these channels, and somebody asked him, where was the last place you traveled? He couldn't tell you. He hadn't traveled anywhere. And that right there was when I jumped in. I was like, yeah, this guy's a joke. Mm-hmm. I know he hasn't traveled to the places I've traveled. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to South America, I know he hasn't traveled to places like Austin or Yesh or most other Passport Bros. So my thing is, this guy's got the loudest mouth, but has no receipts.
Right.
So my thing is, yeah, I hope it is hurting his market share. I hope his market share dry up. Because the thing about it is, you've been speaking out with no solutions beyond what you've been peddling as game. It's like, I don't want to hear that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that, man. I agree with that 1,000,000%. Let's finish. Let's listen to this.
Sure.
Yes. What nigga rolling his eyes? Yes, nigga, stand on it. Hold on. Shout out to my bad. Shout out to Beretti. He said, is there anyone who stands on their SBE? Own up if that's your thing. I would say Ramil, my content is SBE and double down on it and own it. I mean, they don't owe me anything. I mean, I know Lil Big Nate said, fuck it, yeah, SBE. He said it. I don't know, man. It's just once again, we can't, don't do that, because once again, most of the SBE we pull, like what we just saw with Dwight Howard, don't even come from these niggas, man. I ain't finna let them niggas have that. All right, every once in a while they fuck up, but everybody, we pull from everybody, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Shout out to J Dub. He says, damn, 500 on the impromptu stream. I mean, we just chilling, man. Salute to everybody in the building. Everybody hit the like. All right, if you new, subscribe. All the new people subscribe. Shout out to Emmanuel. He says, why does he talk like he's sounding out words? Oh, nah. Don't y'all try to roast now, all right? He already done made it. All right, y'all niggas was fucking with it. All right, but we talking about the flip-flop. All right? And this weird eye rolling, but let's go.
I want y'all guys to hear the hypocrisy in all of our statements, what we said about the Passport Bros, including myself.
Oh, he's trying to correct everybody. Come on, woman, correct all of us. All right, you fresh and fit. This nigga going that fresh and fit.
You think that's a fair critique of Ramil, Big Truck?
Yeah, I'd have to say it's pretty accurate.
Okay. So you think he's throwing Fresh and Fit under the bus?
Well, he got embarrassed on Fresh and Fit's channel.
Oh, he did?
Oh, yeah.
What happened? Talk about it.
Well, no, again, I said, and now this was a while ago, so if you watch the episode yourself, if you ever wanted to critique it, when he was on Fresh and Fit's channel and he brought up the Passport Bros, he was basically, like, all the counterpoints that he was bringing up, like, he was getting shut down on them. And then Ramil came on and he did a episode about AMS on Fresh and Fit. And he was clowning the hell out of him just like he's doing now.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Hold tight.
For the passport bros. This nigga going at we all wrong. Y'all niggas included. I'm gonna show y'all how we all are wrong. Oh, this nigga, damn.
Fresh and Fit podcast. Shout out to my brothers, Fresh and Fit. It's basically bringing some crazy women on their platform and exposing how crazy and delusional they are. That's their platform.
Y'all said if I'm not going down, I said if I'm going down, I'm not going down by myself. The nigga trying to say he trying to do a kamikaze mission. Hell no, if I'm losing money, we all finna lose money. Fuck that. We all wrong.
You bring some women on there, you ask them some questions to find out what's their standards, how much money their man has to make, all this, but how tall he has to be, how big his dick has to be, how long, how good his stamina has to be.
Pause. Damn. Here we go with that, man. Pause. God damn. They always want to.
What's his 40-yard dash? All this goddamn shit, right? Then you hear these delusional bitches on their show, and then you turn right around, and then you say, tell the passport bros, y'all some bitches, y'all don't want to tolerate this. Dude, literally your whole platform is centered around.
When you cross the bridge.
Man, you taking shots of Fresh and Fit. He like, hold up, your whole platform is centered around these crazy.
Yo, Kosher, let me just interject.
Go ahead, brother.
If you go to Alpha Male Strategies channel, right, and you were to go there and you look through his videos right now, if you go back a couple of months ago and you look at his view counts a couple of months ago, and then you fast forward to the present, what you'll notice is a trend. His views have been going down.
Oh,
his views have been going down significantly.
Right.
I mean, yes, he's got 500,000 subscribers.
Gotcha.
He has 118 million, going on 119 million views. But if you look at his recent video views, his views are going down. Now he's having trouble getting 50,000 views. Now, before he had 118, 100. The trend is there. Like if you did a trend line plot, you'd see it. The trend is there. And and my guess is either it's because he's not within the algorithm, or it's because a lot of people just chosen to divest from them. And that's the reality. Now, as far as this thing pointing out Fresh and Fit's channel, all Fresh and Fit have ever been is, again, it's more gender war. It's more war on Keisha. They bring the women on. As soon as the women try to talk back against what they say, and they kick them off and they try to embarrass them. A lot of dudes have pointed that out already. A lot of dudes have pointed out. In fact, the same thing, because in this show, I think it was today, Donovan Sharp, I don't know why you would do this. He's got like all of these women on a panel. Did you see that? He's got all of these women on this panel, and he's on a big screen, not even there physically. And he's basically trying to shame, blame, and explain to these women, and they were disrespectful of him. They weren't giving him like he made another video to do damage control, saying did the guy lose control of the panel? These women ain't trying to hear this stuff. So Fresh and Fit's caveat is that if you don't listen, I'm gonna kick you off and I'm gonna embarrass you and this, that, and other. Most of these women who've been on there, they're like OnlyFans and Instagram like people, so most of them don't really care. But their thing is like, I'm gonna exercise power over you, and if I can, I'm just gonna kick you off. So you can already tell that there's some level of animus there. You could tell because when AMS went on their channel, it didn't go as well as he had hoped. But like he's been losing views. You can see it.
Right. Yeah. So it sounds like the main you think is just a publicity stunt. They become relevant again.
Yes, there you go.
That makes sense, no doubt.
The Fresh and Fit Columbia special. See, he must have not seen the Fresh and Fit Columbia. He must have not seen the Columbia edition. them hoes, not giving a fuck either. But let's go.
How crazy and delusional these bitches is, and then you could critique me included. I'm not excusing myself, guys. Me too. I've been critical of them too. I've been critical of the passport bros too. I'm not trying to say, oh, they did it. No.
Yes, you are, nigga. Why you including them in it? If you want to be held accountable, be held accountable. Nigga trying to throw other motherfuckers in the bus. That's some grimy shit, nigga. If you want to say you were wrong, because I'm sure Fresh don't think he wrong. I'm sure Fresh and Fit don't think they're wrong. This nigga trying to throw other niggas under the bus. Oh, it was them too. Nah, nigga. I don't think they need to kowtow to the passport bros.
Like you're trying to catch the wave, man.
Over here throwing other niggas and take your own lashings.
Oh, I did it too. I'm owning it. I did it too. You can't have a platform that's centered around bringing delusional bitches on your platform and then telling guys, oh, you're pussies if you don't want to deal with this shit. You just made their point. If you look at Fresh and Fit platform, their platform makes the passport bros point. Mm-hmm. If you guys watch Kevin Samuels, rest in peace to the Godfather, if you watch Kevin Samuels' channel before he passed, he's making the passport bros point. Now, I don't think Kevin ever said anything about the passport bros. I don't think they got big until Austin came around. But the point being is, Kevin had 30,000 people watching him. Kevin,
do you think Austin made the passport movement big, or yes and no? What's your take on that?
Austin was a figurehead of the passport bro movement. He was the main figure. He was the first figurehead that you could actually put up. First of all, if you even looked up passport bros at a certain, like, I'll say within the last couple of months, Austin Holloman's picture came up. Video with Fox 26 came up. Right. He was the head on it. But you know what kills me? Now they're trying to replace him with that guy Digital Bromad right now. In the algorithm, this guy Digital Bromad is trying to force himself into it as much as possible so that he can build himself up on YouTube, basically, because he was already big on TikTok. See, most of these dudes, they get a lot of following on TikTok. The same thing you've seen with Austin, Just Pearly Things. A lot of these people are big on TikTok because the viewership is ADHD. But when they come over to YouTube, it's a whole new ball game. It's a whole new ball game. So as far as Austin, Austin basically was the head of it, but they're trying to replace him with this guy Obetya, the Digital Bromad. They're trying to replace him.
Yeah, I never heard of him. Is he a black dude?
No, and that's the thing that burns me up. He's not a black dude. He's like, he looks like he's half Spanish or something. What is it? I think his name is Austin Obetya.
Really?
You can look it up. Austin Obey. Austin Obey Ta.
Austin Obey.
Digital Bro. Yeah, Austin Austin Obeyta Abeyta. And this guy, the Digital Bromad, this guy's trying to take Austin Holloman's spot.
Oh wow. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, they're pumping. They got an article in New York Post, and it's a black woman doing it, of course, and she's basically debunking the thing by herself. Because I'm like, this is exactly what you invite when you start letting all these people unchecked come into your movement. This is exactly what you get.
Right.
But
so you think he's trying to sabotage it?
No, Austin Obetya is not trying to sabotage it. I think he's just trying to get his cut.
Oh, he's trying to catch the wave. Gotcha.
He's trying to catch the wave, because when you catch the wave, you go up fast in the algorithm.
Right.
You go up fast.
Right.
You know, but I think the algorithm's turning kind of against it at this point on YouTube. But that algorithm is always trending on TikTok, and you know, YouTube's always trying to catch up with TikTok. So it is what it is.
It's what it is. No doubt. Hold tight.
Blue.
Here we go. Bringing Kevin Samuels into it. Kevin Samuels also proved the passport bros point too. Here we go. These other guys, they proving the passport bros point. Yeah, you trying to get back on that good side. Let's go.
Well, had major platforms, No Jumper, Joe Budden, T.I., Vlad TV, all brought him on there to discuss the delusion of women in their standards. And then out the same mouth, you got guys in the manosphere, not Kevin, but guys in the manosphere who then turn right around and tell the passport bros, man, y'all some bitches, y'all don't tolerate this shit. When y'all guys have seen At least Fresh and Fit have nice, hot women on there. Kevin used to have some fucking 4s and 5s.
Oh shit! Now all of a sudden, Kevin had ugly hoes. I mean, towards the end, them hoes was ugly. But how come he ain't say this shit? Because niggas already talked about this shit. All right, them hoes was getting ugly and ugly. Hey, AMS getting kind of bold now. Kevin Samuels had ugly hoes on this shit at the end. Man, that's crazy, man. Motherfuckers pass away all of a sudden. You know, shit crazy.
Call the show. Call the show talking about they want a man who make $1 million a year. You can't make this shit up. Shout out to Godfather. You can't make this shit up. At least I would give the benefit to Fresh and Fit, the girls on Fresh and Fit platform. At least they are, some of them, not all. They have some scallywags on there too. But some of them at least have the sexual market value to demand a high value man. Kerry used to have some bitches on there that I wouldn't fuck with my enemy.
What's your take, Big Truck, on this foolishness about high value men? Because I understand the concept, but what's your take on average or subpar women demanding high value? I call them high earning men because I don't judge a man. I believe in a high earning man, but I don't think high value is necessarily tied to money alone. But what's your take on these?
It's not.
Women? Right.
It's not. If you remember Kevin Samuels' definition of a high value man, which is,
right.
And it's a good reason that you have to give definitions for some of these terms. Mm-hmm. Now, his definition for a high value man was it's a man who's been a 6-figure salary maker for more than 3 years constantly.
Right.
And he has a public digital profile, like he's on LinkedIn. People know that his job is legitimate. They know that his job is public. He also said that a high value man has to have utility to the group. So that means other people can reach out to him for whatever. And that he also has a group of high value men as friends. Mm-hmm. So basically you're talking about somebody who's either a public figure, maybe like a mayor, a governor, or a councilman or something like that. You're talking about like either a public figure or you're talking about a wealthy person who deals with a lot of other wealthy people, right? These women were coming on there being low value, claiming that they wanted a man who made, hundreds of thousands of dollars, $500,000 a year, $300,000 a year. And he's basically slapping him down, saying you don't deserve that, and you're ultimately not going to be able to get that.
Right.
Which is the reason why I keep saying he's like an air traffic controller who's given directions to planes that have already crashed. It's like there's nothing I can say to you that's going to change your outcome. There's nothing I can say to you. But bottom line is, I'm glad that the high. So I think the other thing, and this is why a lot of people kind of didn't like Kevin Samuels, even men in some cases. They realized at a certain point that high value man thing didn't apply to them.
Right.
So, and that's okay. Most men are average. Most women are average.
Right.
Our problem is the average women don't respect the average men.
Right. Which is an insult.
Yeah. If you go, it's a slap in the face. If you go just about anywhere, sometimes I'm driving in my car and I'm looking down at some couples because like I'm driving around a big SUV. I got like a Jeep SRT or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking in some of these other people's cars and I'm seeing some of the couples and you'll see some fat white woman and she's with a fat white guy. And you're like, there's nothing wrong with that. Meanwhile, if it's a black woman and she's fat, she's demanding Kobe Bryant. It's like, and not getting it. That's the whole point. Not getting it. Right. And then calling up Kevin Samuels. Now he's up there playing elephants on parade with a push of a button and saying, listen, you ain't getting Kobe Bryant, you fat.
Right.
So why don't you lower your standards? But then you've got the women replying, oh, you should never lower your standards, this, that, and other. Well, what about the women who ain't got no choice but to lower their standards? Otherwise, they're going to end up alone.
Right.
Right. It's a very vicious cycle. And is the real culprit. If these women refuse to claim you, I have female friends who past 40, just getting pregnant for the first time. I have no idea what their boyfriend.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, no, I can't make this up. I one of them in particular, 40 plus. I think right now she's like 41, 42, pregnant for the first time. I have no idea what her man looks like because she claims the baby photos on her Instagram, but not her man. So, I've come up with my own theory. Women are proud of their man, their wedding ring, their children, their house, and so forth and so on. But if you don't meet their criteria, even if they are dealing with you, they're not going to post photos of you.
Right,
If these women, have you seen these women on YouTube? Oh yeah, look at this big new house that I just bought, and they post the house. Or look at this big new Mercedes Benz I bought, and they post the car. If they're not proud of it, they're not posting it. It's an insult. It's an insult. You know, and it is what it is. Now she's proud of her baby bump. I hope she delivers a healthy baby and everything, but she ain't proud of her man.
Yeah, man, it's unfortunate, man. That's that term I created called hoflation, man. I saw the term hoflation in the Urban Dictionary.
Hoflation.
I created that term, hoflation, but
and remind me, what does hoflation mean?
So basically, hoflation is similar to inflation, where you got average to subpar women. They have inflated egos. They try to pump the market up. They think that they're worth more than what they really are. And so basically, you got subpar women demanding high returns on an investment. Hoflation.
Okay.
Right. Hold tight.
Dick. Seriously, I wouldn't want to touch them. Nonetheless, fuck them. Tell me they want a man who make $1 million a year.
Pause.
Seriously, guys. And this is what we're talking about. We're talking to the passport bros. How dare you not want to tolerate this bullshit from these crazy bitches? You ain't your fucking mind.
This nigga becoming a passport bro too. Yo shit crazy, bro. I swear, bro. That wasn't even that many months ago. Yo, he had to take that bottom line. Had to take a hit, man. That nigga trying. I need. That nigga did like he might have downgraded. And he might be in the closet. That shit does look kind of enclosed. That shit do. Yo, let me find out y'all niggas had this nigga downgrade. Y'all fucked this money up, man. You over here trying to get back on y'all good side. That shit crazy.
You know about it finna.
Oh yeah.
So in that aspect, I gotta say, I gotta agree with the passport bros in that situation. You can't. The manosphere as a whole, me, every other body in the manosphere, guys, we got guys on YouTube in the manosphere. And
man, all of a sudden they claiming manosphere now? Oh no. Damn nigga, he's uh-oh. Yep, he's trying to get back in. He came in manosphere now. Yeah, he damn, I thought this nigga wasn't. Damn, that shit crazy. Damn, that nigga trying to be cool with the passport, bro. Now he's claiming manosphere now. Damn, shit, wow. That shit definitely I must be out the loop.
I apologize, guys, for not looking at the camera. I was looking at myself. I got to get back used to. I ain't filmed in a while, so I was looking at myself. So
I got to get back used to talking to you niggas again. I ain't had to do this in a minute. All right.
Let me ask you a question, Big Truck. Do you think the government's gonna start coming up with sanctions to reduce men travel because it's going to impact the economy? What's your take on that?
I don't know why people keep saying that.
Okay.
I guess they think that women are going to try to petition the government. Yo, first of all, this government right now can't let in enough illegal aliens fast enough because they know that we're going to have a age crisis where you don't have enough young people because here's the thing: whites' birth rates are down. Blacks' birth rates are down. They're letting in illegal aliens who have big families traditionally. That's what they're doing. Right. Like, I'm surprised that the government hasn't done things to make it easier for us to get foreign wives. Mm-hmm. I'm actually shocked they haven't. No, first of all, at the end of the day, the white man's at the head of this. White man will take his passport, and he's been going to Thailand, China, South Korea, Japan, wherever he wants to go, and he's getting his women and he's bringing them back. He's not staying over there. He's bringing them back. Black men, we're second tier on this, and we're basically doing the exact same thing the white man's been doing for generations. The sad thing is, as a black man, that we have to do it. We shouldn't have to do it. You don't really see you don't see Hispanics Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, you don't see the ones that are here. You don't see them being forced to fly to foreign countries to get women who they know that they're going to be able to build a family with.
Mm-hmm.
But black men, black and white men, liberal feminism is a motherfucker. Black men and white men are caught in a situation right now where foreign wives are your only option at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you deal with these American women, it's rolling the dice. It's Russian roulette.
Right.
It just is. But that's just a reality. The government's not good. The government in no way. First of all, if they were trying to stop you, they wouldn't have given you a passport in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are they going to tell you? Oh, you can't go overseas and you can't get married. We have an entire K-1 visa process for marrying abroad to a foreign wife. We have an entire process. Mm-hmm. Or for bringing her here. We have an entire process.
Mm-hmm.
They're not getting rid of that. White men are in control of that. They're not getting rid of that. Look, even Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg didn't get a white woman or a Jewish woman. Look at this. This is what. Do you think any white woman would have respected Zuckerberg as nerdy as that dude is, or educated, lame, whatever they call him? No, he'd have been getting divorced by now.
Right.
Look at Bill Gates. Bill Gates, Elon Musk. They were married to well-to-do white women. Look what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Zuckerberg's marriage will last forever.
Right.
It will last forever. That woman will not divorce him simply because of fear of shaming her family.
Right. Lost value system. I totally agree. Shout out to Crimson Cure talking about the lost value system. Hold tight, brother.
I get back used to doing this shit. You know I don't fuck with you niggas. I get back used to this.
I'm back making eye contact. I know y'all want me to make that good eye contact with y'all. Yeah.
What the fuck? I ain't played this part yet. What the fuck? Is his audience men? Is his audience men? What the fuck's going on? What the fuck? Yeah, I know you want me to make that good eye contact. What the fuck is this? Oh man, what did it see?
So you can feel like you being seduced with my eye contact. But you got guys.
Pause. Damn. What's up with all this fruity tooty shit, man?
Shout out to NC Recovery and Wellness. He said, Kevin said, blue below average men lowering his standards. Blue C average man lowers the standards.
Hello, lucky
you're
person.
dynamite. I don't
You
know
got the
about
number
MC
right,
Recovery.
because you are talking to kid a dynamite. You're dynamite.
What the hell's going on yet, man? You should have just stayed. This nigga should have just see if Amos would have just disappeared after like that first 2 years. He probably would have been a legend in the game. This is what happens when niggas just try to hang on, dog. You know, fucking just saying stupid shit, man. I said this man got out the hospital acting sus. They drugged him up. Oh shit. Hopefully he's the same. I ain't know. Only reason why I know about that because y'all said he made it public. Hopefully, man, that shit crazy, man. Let's go.
In the manosphere, who got 3,000, 4,000 videos. Just that alone, the fact that you got 3,000 videos on how to game women should tell you everything you need to know about what's going on with the Western woman.
Little does he know this applies worldwide. And this nigga way behind. He getting back in the loop, man. Yeah, I ain't gonna look. What you say? Night Rain says AMS still in the Hall of Fame.
Now, Big Truck, you traveled. You lived in Japan. You're a highly educated man. We know that women abroad are not perfect. We know that universally female nature is female nature. We understand all that. But in your world travels, let's play the odds. The odds of a man finding a traditional woman is a lot higher. We know that feminism is creeping in these countries too, but the odds are a lot higher. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Feminism is creeping into these countries. Capitalism is changing the way these women relate to their men. Because let's not forget, Japan's birth rates have been going down too. Japan is having problems with late births and infertility. They're having problems with divorce in South Korea, China, and Japan. Right. They're having issues, as I've always pointed out, with the women waiting until they're later in age, and then now the men don't want to marry them.
Mhm.
So,
Christmas cake.
they're getting hit with the exact same thing because capitalism itself is changing their lifestyle along with feminism. And then when you interject the internet and social media, you know, that I don't believe that most Asian women will ever be as bad as American women are because they don't have the support system for it. That's the thing. Their families will shame them. In some cases, their families will kill them. Because, like, there was a story just recently, this Indian brother decapitated his sister because she, like, was trying to marry somebody the family didn't approve of. Now, I'm not saying that things should go that far, but what I am saying is that the family structure and family values,
right?
They believe in face, like they believe
right.
in shame, and they believe in pride.
Right.
They believe
right.
here we've had it stripped away from us within
Right.
like within 2 generations. We've
Right.
had it like stripped away.
Right.
But see here, yeah, the women are free to be as disrespectful as they want.
Right.
Do you realize how many kids are gonna grow up and their grandmamas on OnlyFans and their grandmoms busting it open on Instagram? Do you realize how many kids in the future are gonna be in school and some other kid is gonna tease the hell out of them because their mom is on OnlyFans?
Right.
Do you
Right.
do you understand that?
Right. That's serious, man.
Like
That's serious, bro.
nobody thinks about this stuff, but yeah, like there's gonna be like unrest. Like there's gonna be unrest behind it. What we're doing right now. There's gonna be unrest. But these women don't care because they're getting $1 for it. They you know, it's like stripping. You know, you getting your $1, you getting your $100,000 a year or whatever it is. They don't care. They don't care. But see, in these other countries, man, you know what the punishments for that is over there. And then the families disown you. So
Yes.
yeah, you can have
Right.
kids, but nobody'd ever claim them.
Especially in Japan.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Japan, China, and South Korea, all three.
Right.
All
right.
three. If you don't respect that family, oh no. If you don't respect your father and that patriarchy, no, you're getting disowned. You know,
And Big
so
Truck, you class of 2000, right? A class of 99.
1999 high school.
Okay, 99. I'm class of 90. What is the radical difference that you've seen, brother? You know, we're living up top. I'm in the Tar Heel state. But what's the biggest difference you've seen in female nature? Because it was bad, and I'm sure it was always bad, worse in the city. But what have you seen manifest that showed that we're going to an imminent crisis? And before you answer that, shout out to Top Gun for the 2. He said, this is what you call the flip-flop. Talking about alpha male strategies. Dangerous. Fire for your mind.
Fire for your mind.
What's your take on what have you seen in New York, wherever you live at, with the vacillation in female nature, Big Truck?
Let me tell you something. I'm what is it? I'm 42 years old. When I was in high school, before we didn't even have beepers, because this was like, you're talking about 1995, 1996, 1997, or whatever, like, or 6, 7, 8, 9, right? We didn't have beepers. We didn't have cell phones, right? Social media really didn't come about until about, what, 2007, 2009, because of iPhone and because of Android phones, because we didn't even have smartphones until then. Oh, that stuff didn't exist, right? You did have Black Planet. You did have MySpace in that interim. But smartphones and the ability of these women to, like, just literally just bust it open anywhere and have a cavalcade of dudes following them and giving them self-aggrandizement.
Right.
That's the main thing. Their egos have been inflated beyond belief.
Beyond belief.
Beyond belief. And that right there is really the main problem, because before that, women were just women, men were just men. Now it's all a show, it's all reality TV, it's all social media. And that's the reason why the women don't feel they have to respect the men, because as far as they're concerned, they've got 20 other men in their DMs. And then you really think about it, these men some of them are sending them money, some of them are sending them photos of them, you know, their private parts and whatnot. it's like, why would these women commit to a man right now and be under him and build his leg? Why would they bother if they've literally been given so much self-aggrandizement that they absolutely don't have to?
Right.
Yeah, they may not be able to get married, but what do? Their ego says, "Oh yeah, well, I didn't really want to get married." They're liars. They're absolute liars, and their egos are so big that they will literally say aloud, I didn't want to get married. It's like, well, you got the kids. You didn't want to get married? No, you weren't. You couldn't get the guy you wanted. You settled, and now you've convinced yourself that you did. I could do bad all by myself.
Right. The fly girls that you saw up top on Big Truck. What are you seeing those women that were fine in the 80s and the 90s? What are you seeing in those women now, Big Truck, when you go back home, man?
They ain't fine now. They're old. Like for instance, there's my ex, one of my exes, and I'm still friendly with her.
Right.
And the last time I was around her and I saw her, I was just looking at how her she was physically starting to deteriorate. I was looking her bones, it was easier for me to see the bones in her arms. It was easier for me to see the frailness, because she's 44. It was easy for me to see the frailness starting to accumulate and how she's starting to slow down. And it's nah, they ain't all that no more. And that's the reason why all throughout history, men and women have known women need a man to be married to.
Right. And
they need somebody who's going to take care of them. Now, granted, we've removed a lot of those things, but it really comes down to a woman's going to need a man one way or another. The question is, what's her relationship with him? If she needs a man right now to put her air conditioner in or to remove it, she'll find somebody, even if it's Lowe's or Home Depot themselves, that sends somebody over. Or she may have to call a plumber or something like that. She's always going to need a man. Right. But these women have convinced themselves, no, I don't.
Yeah, they're delusional. Because they might not need a man for relationships, but they need mankind. Not Theo, but Big Truck, we know that we need mankind. Because there are some things like carpentry, architecture, plumbing.
There's a hell of a lot of stuff I can't do.
Right. We can't, we don't know how to do it. So you don't hear you and I going around saying we don't need mankind. So they're delusional.
The high value men are the ones that are doing those jobs where aerospace engineering and putting satellites into space. I don't know shit about none of that.
Right. Same here.
And if I need them, obviously the women do. Mm-hmm. Because they need me and I'm on a lower level.
I totally agree, man. Top Gun said class of 99 here. Back that ass up was the anthem in that time. He said they were putting up Wilt Chamberlain numbers back then as well.
Well, you got to remember, I went from a time of teen pregnancy being rampant to now where teen pregnancy isn't even a thought.
Right.
And that's part of the reason, again, why the government's doing its best to replace us with illegal immigration. Right. Because they see that we're not. Basically, the women have decided that they're not going to have children until they're damn good and ready. And when they're ready, they expect you to be there to pick them up and be their plan B. And that's the reality. That's just the reality.
It is the reality. Joseph, you got to show your face in the back, brother. I don't know if you're an avatar or somebody fake. So you got to show your face in the back, brother. If you don't show your face, you can't come up. There's a lot of weird folks coming on YouTube. So I got to see your face in the background. If I can't see your face, you can't come up, brother. I got to see your face. We ain't gonna take no chance with that. But you got to show your face, man.
Kind of hanging up. I would agree with that. This nigga over here trying to seduce a large audience of men with eye contact and trying to get in on the password bros talking about Austin Holloman. Austin Holloman just dissed the motherfuckers. We're gonna get to that next.
It is absolutely ridiculous. So in that aspect,
y'all said they clone AMS. Hey, yo, I seen that movie. They cloned Tyrone. That shit was trash. The fuck? That was the worst storyline I've ever seen. We gotta watch They Clone Tyrone. This is so woke. Such an incredible movie. Boy, that shit was ass. Shit was trash. Though. It didn't even make sense. That's a whole nother. I might do a gaming stream when I talk about how trash that movie, how everybody fake hyping that shit up. Anyway, let me get back to this.
From that point of view, guys, I'm gonna apologize to the Passport Bros, because if I don't, we're walking contradictions.
Oh, this nigga, I ain't hear this part. I know we got some passport bros in here. Do y'all accept does the passport bros accept alpha male strategies apology? This nigga over here apologizing, man. Get the fuck, I would never, man. Damn, yeah, he trying to get back in. This nigga copping plea. Y'all fuck. Yeah, passport bros won that war. I don't give a fuck. That little war they had, they won. They got that nigga waving the white flag. Yeah, y'all won that one. The dating coach war, y'all won that one. This nigga over here apologizing. God damn.
What's going on with the Western woman? It is absolutely ridiculous. So in that aspect, from that point of view, guys, I'm gonna apologize to the passport bros, because if I don't, we're walking contradiction.
No, you are, nigga. Nigga trying to say weird, trying to involve everybody. No, nigga, don't try to involve. Nigga, take your
Big Troy. You said passport, pride worldwide. What does that mean to you, dog?
I like to make phrases and stuff that make it very, like, I like to make memes, and basically it means like every man who's got a passport, be proud of it, and we're going to travel it. We're going to take it worldwide.
No doubt. Joseph Benjamin, how would you like to add to the conversation, brother? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's hard for me to catch you. I work a lot, so just logged on. I was like, okay, cool. So I see your streams are getting up. It used to be like 10, 20. Now it's getting up to 100. So you doing big things, man.
He said 10, 20. Ain't never been no 10. Back in the
20,
day.
30. It's steadily climbing.
All right, no doubt.
I just wanted to give you some, congratulations.
Well, make sure you hit that cash out, man. You ain't shown no love in a long time, so you can show some love by hitting that cash out. Show some love, man. You always trying to pimp me out, man. But go ahead, go ahead, man. What's your take on the conversation, brother? Brother Yusuf.
I just jumped on. So, what's the quickest synopsis of
well, but just the passport movement is growing, man. It's proliferating. We talked about the various branches and how this space is a type of a psychotherapy, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, I just saw the little piece of what I guess that light-skinned dude was talking about. He's apologizing for, maybe he was talking mess about. I don't know.
Well, I tell you what, you just sit back and catch up, and then you can add your point to the passport movement. Just sit back and catch up, man. You came in the movie late, man, eating popcorn, man. The movie about over with.
It was ice cream, actually.
I swear, you got to be a Baptist, man. MC Recovering Wellness, how you doing, brother? How would you like to add to the conversation, man?
I'm just enjoying it because y'all bringing up some real good points.
Right.
Some, real good points, and then I'm just experiencing my life of the women that I really could have been building with.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they come around the corner, and I saw them for years and years sleep with this person or either stayed with this married person for like a decade, and then all of a sudden I look good. And then in my head, I think they realize that I'm not spending a lot of money.
Right. Back then she didn't want me. Now that I'm hot, they all on me.
Yeah. So it's just and AMS got me cracking up because the way you and passport business classes breaking them down. He's trying to me, he's trying to transfer over. It's sort of like he want to knock Fresh and Fit down while his subscribers went down, and then navigate himself into the passport lane.
Right. Understood. No doubt. Finish this in a little bit of this, guys, real quick. How much longer you got, Big Truck? I'm gonna end this in a few.
Licks, nigga. Them niggas fucked you up. Trying to involve it. Fresh and Fit ain't take no hit. Fresh and Fit did 100,000 on Rumble a couple weeks ago. Well, I don't know. I heard they got 2 strikes on YouTube, but I don't know. They ain't apologizing. Nigga over here trying to weird walking contradictions. Nah, nigga, you backtracking. Shit crazy. Shout out to Passport.
So we can't criticize female nature and then point the finger at them and say, y'all, how dare you don't want to deal with these girls? That's stupid.
All right, so once again, so yeah, I ain't gonna lie, you got the gist. All right, the nigga did a huge flip-flop.
The kosherclinician, one of my good friends, says, we'd love to have you.
Shout out to Austin, man. I was trying to get Austin on tonight. Austin shouted me out a few nights ago. But shout out to my man Austin. Now, also going to be talking about world travel, and he's going to talk about this passport movement. I want to hear you. I'm going to hear you guys take on what Austin was saying.
You come through and educate young men on why African women are viable, and you stop talking about American women. Absolutely, you have my phone.
Anyway.
I was sitting around complaining about the things, and the only reason I complained was because I was there. Even when I got to Brazil, I was just complaining because I was freshly new. The longer I stayed, the less I even thought about the States, the less I felt the need to compare. But for the most part, that topic on YouTube pays a lot to complain. You think about the Adam. You guys notice I never cover stories about like Adam 22. That's not my style. It's not.
No. This ain't even what I wanted to cover real quick. Hold on. No, this is the one I wanted to cover. Hold up. That's the wrong one. I was the wrong. This is one I wanted to cover right here. All right, so he's turning this back on niggas. He's saying, yo, you know. Here, let me play it. This is what I wanted to play right here. Let's get it. He's talking about, should men stick with their own race of women abroad? A message to Passport, bro. Let's go.
Stick to dating their own race of women when they leave in the United States, especially because the United States.
Now Big Truck, I think I understand what Austin was talking about. Austin is talking about something called, I think what Austin's talking about something called nationalism. And he's saying that women in Asia or women in other countries sometimes, they can have animus towards Americans, you know, like I'm gonna call somebody to hurt you or whatever. But I don't think that's a black issue. I think that's a nationalist issue, and it supersedes race. What's your take on that, Big Truck?
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's, you know, women trying to, how should I say, getting angry at men, because you got to keep it in context. The reason why he was getting into this confrontation in the first place was because he's making videos and he's keeping these videos up as content while he's going abroad dating women. Because, see, I personally don't think that these women think that, you know, that he's just dating them to date them. I think that they think that there's a relationship in here somewhere, but then they realize, no, there's not.
Right.
You know? And the problem is, just like I talked about the fact that some of these women won't post their man who's their current man. They won't post them on the internet because a lot of these women know that if they do post them, then other people see who they're actually dating, right? So they can't so easily be cheating and hiding what they're doing, right? Now, here you got somebody who's posting video footage of you while he's on vacation, and you know, and I think that they're not very happy about that, you know, because you see what I'm saying? He's posting video footage of these women, and they can't delete that. They can't take that down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
right.
I think that that's really where that concern is coming from. So what they're doing is they're saying, "Oh yeah, I want you to remove this video. I want you to take that down." But for him, that's money. It's that's like I'm money. Not taking this down. The hell with you.
Right.
You know, and this is basically what got him in trouble in Brazil. My thing is, if it was me, I wouldn't have actually I wouldn't have said anything aloud about it. I wouldn't have told everybody about that situation. I would have just kept it quiet, but he chose not to do that.
Contractor, what's up, brother? Brother Allen, what's going on, dog?
Not much, sir. Another day done. Salute to you. Salute to the panel in the chat.
No doubt. What's your take on the movement, man? What's your take on the movement and the passport movement, the proliferation of it, and alpha male strategies in this loaded question, trying to defect and come into the fold?
I believe what we have, I'm going to sum it up because I just popped a Benadryl. I'm tired. And
right. I'm in it too.
Yes,
yes, sir.
I believe what we have is a cautionary tale. Be careful what the hell you say out your mouth. The passport bros is a movement. It's a movement. It's not just a bunch of random. It's not just a bunch of random goofy guys that can't get women. No, these are high earners. These are gentlemen that can afford to take these trips.
Right.
Yeah, you're gonna have your pookies that get thrown in there, but the vast majority of these men are probably making about 40 plus, and that's good enough.
That's good enough, right?
But well, hell, especially down in a foreign country, that's really good. But he's backpedaling because I believe he's losing money.
He's losing money.
You don't need a date. You don't need a dating coach down there.
You don't need a dating
If the women, if the women down there are interested in you, they make it known.
Right.
So you don't need all this game and all this talking. I mean, I'm from up north, so of course I grew up in and around people that were spitting that high five game, that game. But down there, when I traveled out of the country, I ain't need none of that.
Right.
Hola, ¿cómo está? Bien. ¿Y tú?
You too, right.
¿Cuál es tu nombre? What's your name? El Niño. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's all you need.
That's all you need.
So all that backpedaling, it just goes to show. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
I got a quick question for you.
Go ahead, man.
Hey, it seems like the foreign women that I've been seeing, Austin and the Mac and some of the other passports, I haven't noticed no loud talking woman or no confrontation or no twerking all crazy, and I haven't noticed that yet. And I think Keisha and them is waiting for it.
No doubt. Go ahead, you sir. Before you say it, Top Gun said the Birdman needs to send a pigeon over to Alpha Male Strategist. I'm about to send him a pigeon, Top Gun. Hold on. We're about to send him a pigeon, man. I'm about to send him a pigeon. Hold
Flies
on.
eat poop. Get over it. Okay? That's for you.
Yeah. Shut up, Kosher. Yeah. Shut up. Whoa. Shut up, Kosher.
Ballin',
Take it back.
like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. Yeah, I'm ballin', like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. I put in work, couldn't wait for mine. I got now, couldn't wait it.
I had to say Alpha Male Strategist a pigeon, man. But go ahead, Yusuf. Go ahead, brother.
I was going to ask the contractor, all this game that you learned when you went overseas, did you find when you tried to use it initially, if you did, was it a hindrance to you? And if so, did you have to learn how to break that and go back to just how things naturally are without having to use games?
That's a great question. Honestly, it was like how can I put it? It was like applying advanced calculus to how to cook a hamburger. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, this you don't need all this. You don't need all this. If she likes you, she likes you. Especially if they're from Europe, they'll get down with you that same day, that same night. But if you're dealing with a more modest woman, yeah, you can add a little flirtation in there, but you don't need all of that. If they like you, they're gonna rock with you. And on top of that, being an American and having that blue book puts you well ahead of everybody else anyway. So they want to conversate with you. They want to get to know you. They want to find out what's going on. But real quick, Coach, yeah, I like what MC Recovering Wellness said. Ain't no twerking. There ain't no twerking going on by the women down there.
Right.
Because they carry themselves with a moniker of grace.
Grace, right.
You know what I mean?
Class, right.
Exactly. But I guarantee if you take your ass down to Atlanta right now and just put on some music, they all in the back of the street throwing it back. It's wild, dude. It's wild.
Yeah, man. And it's changed radically. brother contractor since we were in school. Hold tight, guys. We'll finish looking at this, and I'm gonna end the stream in a minute. Hold tight.
It's a place of hate, but when they leave the United States and they go to these countries, because when you go to somebody,
and shout out to brother Yusef for the $3 cash app. Thank you, brother.
Somebody else's country, American or not, you have less leverage when it comes to the justice system and the actual social system of that country. Because
this nigga starting to keep it real now. Oh, see, that's why he ain't fucking with the password, bro. He's starting to understand real life. Yeah, when you come over here, you have less leverage with the legal system. Oh, he's starting to
will always put themselves first. I've experienced that in Thailand, sometimes in Brazil, and not in Africa.
All right, so my question is this, because I've been said that shit, you're gonna experience that shit. Why does this young man have the reality of understanding that, and these other grown ass niggas be trying to ignore that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, you know we're good over here. Everybody's equal.
What's your take on that, Big Truck? Your world travel. What's your take on that?
What specifically? I heard what he said, but what's your question specifically?
What's your take on when you the vacillation between Africa and the other countries? More or less, like you get better treatment from Africans versus you're not treated equally in Asia, Europe, or in those nations.
Well, okay, having been to Africa, the one thing I'd have to say is that when you're in Africa, it's like everybody is pretty much like you know? So it's like you're going to get a level of treatment that you've never experienced before simply because you're dealing with people who are who look like you, for one, you know? Mm-hmm. So that in and of itself means something.
Right. So you feel like that gives the person more credence.
Well, because black people in America have really never experienced being in a place or a country where how should I say, everybody was just like them, or that they weren't a minority. You know, when you're in Africa, you're not a minority if you're black. It's like, you know, that's something black people generally don't experience.
Makes sense. Hold tight.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a minute.
Situation anyway, but it's not my style to sit around and just talk about other people's stuff. I don't care. My channel is not about, oh, look at what these American, y'all know what the American women are doing. My channel is to say, hey, this is what they're doing, but you can come over here and let me show you what it's like over here. You guys have known that from the beginning. So I can understand why those other dudes sit around and complain.
Nigga said no more. The nigga did used to go ham on. He said no more. Fuck that.
I think Charles Irby got some good points. He said same skin color means zilch to me. Even in Africa, there's ethnic nepotism. Yeah, I think you really can't quantify it, man. If you know, Africa is such a huge continent, and with so many countries and languages, really hard to. From a small sample size.
Well, you know, see the problem. The problem with qualifying that statement I just made is what black people I think don't really think about enough is the fact that it's actually very, very, how should I say, it's exhausting being black in America. It's mentally exhausting. You have to be careful how you walk. You got to be careful how you dress. You got to constantly put together all these thoughts. And as you know, the brain uses a lot of energy subconsciously. The brain is constantly using energy when you have to put this much stress onto everything. You have to worry about every damn thing. When I was in Africa, I was not concerned with just about anything. In fact, the part that I was in, it was like virtually no crime. Mm-hmm. So it was a vacation spot. There's almost no crime. Right. Cops were friendly. You could talk to people. You could talk to neighbors. You could just walk to their house and you could say hi to them. They were like you couldn't even, like, stuff like that you normally couldn't even do here. So, you know, the experience that he's having going to the place that he's been going to, it's like, you know, basically what he's basically saying is like, if you're a black man in America, you should get a passport and come to Africa and this, that, and other. But this whole thing about just dating your own race, I totally reject that. You could date whatever you're attracted to. That's your choice. Go ahead.
And it's probably fair to say it varies from country to country.
Absolutely.
It varies from country to country.
Oh, I got a question for you, Passport. Business class.
Yeah.
When you went to Africa, did you find that they gave as much importance to the color of the skin like we do here, or is it more so based on that because they have it around them so much that they don't care? They look at more like the ethnic or the specific region or specific country rather than a bunch of black people on one continent. Do you think they care as much as we do here because we are the minority, or do you think they care a lot less?
If you are an African and you're basically hearing stories coming out of America about racism, and you're asking, oh, is that true? Like for instance, when I was over there, the Mike Brown shooting had basically just happened with Mike Brown. If you remember, you remember the Mike Brown shoot. And the thing about it was, for them, these are just news stories. These are just things that they hear about. But having me there, they were able to ask me, "Oh, is this what happened? Is this true?" They were they were talking to me like basically I'm like an ambassador to the country, and if I say it, they can believe it because they know that I'm not going to lie. You see what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, like, when you're in Africa, they're not worried about your skin color. Your skin color is irrelevant for the most part.
Right.
Your skin color is really irrelevant because for the most part, everybody who's there is looks just like you.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, man. That makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna end the stream in a minute. But Big Truck, thanks for tuning in, man. I'm gonna listen to a few more points about this, and I'm gonna end the stream. Contract, thanks for dropping through, brother. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, contractor. All right, so Big Truck, real quick, man. What you get from the conversation, man, and this whole passport movement, and where it's going, brother?
Where is it going? Basically, it's only getting bigger. Right now, as you've heard in the news, there's a lot of dudes who filed for their passports, and they're just waiting for them to come back, and the passport agency has been overbooked. Flights have been overbooked outside the country. The movement is growing faster than you probably could imagine, because a lot of the dudes who are into this at this point, they're not on YouTube really talking about it. So there's probably a lot more people than you could even imagine, and we've probably inspired people who aren't even black to be part of this movement because they've been hearing about it on TikTok, and they've been hearing about the fact that they can go overseas and that they can find something better for themselves. Not to mention those who just want to travel, or the ones who just travel for the peace and whatnot. So the Passport Bros, it's basically grown to something I expected it to grow to. It's like a logical conclusion. It's like this was always destined to be the final solution for black men in America, because obviously there was no plan. There's nothing else to do here. There's nothing else.
Right.
You have a declining culture. You've got a system of values that's degenerating every single day. There was really no option.
Right.
So basically it's growing, and it's going to keep on growing.
Your country of choice for a wife, I swear, real fast.
Me?
Yes, sir.
Southeast Asia, either Thailand or the Philippines.
Oh, wow. So none of the African countries?
Nah.
He did not hesitate. It's like, is this if he knew you was going to ask?
Listen, I'm 6'6", and I'm dark skinned enough. It's like I like women who are a different shape, different size. It's not even about their skin color, because Southeast Asian women are some of them are dark skinned and this, that, and other. A lot of them did actually originate in Africa, and they just transferred over. It's just that's what I like. That's what I'm attracted to, and I feel I deserve it.
No doubt, no doubt.
Well, in fact, I'm gonna change my avatar just so you see what I'm talking about. So, I dated in China while I was a student and everything. That changed my entire worldview, basically.
So Big Truck, real quick, what was your experience like as a black man dating Chinese women?
I think I'll say this real quick because I know other people want to talk. I think the worst possible thing is I constantly get these beliefs based on stereotypes that Chinese women don't like black men and Chinese people are racist towards black people. Let me tell you something. When I was living in China, I couldn't have felt safer at all compared to how I feel every day here in America. There's almost no crime over there compared to what we have here. The cops, for the most part, don't even carry guns. So unless you go attacking police officers, nothing's going to happen to you for the most part. The women are kind, they're friendly, they're feminine, they want to please you, they want to serve you. Like my thing is, the only problem I had in China was the pollution, the air pollution, because they were burning coal. I think it's probably improved a little bit at this point, but they did have a pollution problem. That's why I kind of like Southeast Asia a little bit more. I've been to South Korea, I've been to Japan. I got the same exact thing to say about South Korea and Japan. And if you take the step of even bothering to go into their language and learn anything about their language, you pick up women like instantaneously. Within I'm talking about instantaneous and long-lasting relationships. Nothing like what you got here. Like nothing like it.
Gotcha. No doubt. Contract. Anybody else before we end the stream? I'm about to end this late. I got to get up in the morning, man.
Yes, sir. I can't help but agree with the brother that just spoke, because literally, after 4+ years of war zone contracting, I felt safer over there than I do here at home.
Right.
Wow.
At least I had an idea of who my enemy was and looked like, versus I'm at the stoplight. You don't know, if the people pull up behind you, you never know how it's gonna go. It's taking you your whole life to become you, and for you to have what you have as of right now, and it could be ended just like that. So you're right. Being in America is very exhausting.
No doubt.
I stopped at a rest area because we were traveling for a job. I have a service dog. I bring him with me. He helps with my PTSD. Long story short, I'm walking him around away from everybody else, because he's a big pit, but he's a loving dog. This white chick just hops up and starts walking the other direction. I'm nowhere near her. It's like a 30-foot spread between us. I'm looking at her like, you're literally walking in the same direction I have to go, but you're walking at a fast pace, which makes it look like I might be following you or trying to do something to you.
Ooh.
I had to V all the way off. But my bad, being black in America, you have to calculate every single thing you do. Versus in Ethiopia, my preferred country, you ain't got to do all that.
Right.
You can live
yourself. Right.
And be
right. And you can pass one of them. You can pass one of them. Terrence, about 3 minutes, man. I'm about to end it, man. You came on late, brother. I had the link down. So 3 minutes, man. It got to be under 3, man, because I got to go, man. Go ahead, man.
Yes, sir. Very excellent show. The Passport Brothers right now is the highest level of the manosphere. There's layers and levels to everything. And the Passport Brothers are the apex and epitome and the highest level of the manosphere, for the simple fact they're not just talking. They're not just talkers. They're action takers. So that's what puts them at the highest level. But like I say all the time, you got the best show in the world, and so many excellent points were being made. And I've been to 30 different countries myself, Africa included, and each country has its own unique flavor and seasoning to it. In the Dominican Republic, 95% of the brothers over there, they're actually hoe chasing and not wife shopping. So that's the issue with the DR. And I've heard a lot of the same things about Thailand and what have you. So what we need to do is the problem is we were never taught how to have a proper relationship, how to have a proper marriage, and too many brothers are the problem with Passport Brothers is too many brothers are out here coochie hunting and just looking for the PU, the SS, and the Y instead of the mentality of the woman, and that's where it needs to improve. But Passport Bro is a first step, is a good first step to a brother reaching for a wife and obtaining happiness and fulfillment in his life.
Yeah, well, every man's in a different state. I think the passport movement, I call it the movement. I don't like this truncated approach. It's broad. It's too broad to more or less encapsulate to this one type of person. It's too broad for that. But,
right, it is.
But there are some that do that. But they're grown men, man. So. But anyway, it's been a good one, guys. I got to sign off. I got to see clients. Terrence, thank you, man. I ain't forgot you with that show, brother.
Yes,
Big Truck, before we end it, I'm gonna let you land the plane. Anything you want to say, man? And thank you for coming through, Big Truck. I really appreciate it, man. Anything you want to end on closing?
All I got to say is, brothers, again, just like the last guy said, we are the solution. We're the final solution to this. Get your passports. Find yourself whatever the piece of life you want is, because you're not going to get it here.
Yeah, man. I totally agree, guys. And on that note, guys, as Optimus Prime says, Nanobots transform.
It's been an honor serving with you all. Autobots, roll out. We roll.
Nanobots transform. All right, guys. Brother Contractor signing off, man. Love you, brother. Good to see you. All right, man.
Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
He said it's a comedy skit.
But he didn't say it was a comedy skit. I don't know that.
But I told you I wasn't. But
okay, and I let it go.
You didn't let it go.
I'm not talking about it. You are. I don't give a fuck if you was a pimp or not.
But I don't give a... You keep asking me stupid shit.
I did not.
Why do you keep
what
asking
other
me
stupid shit do I ask you? What other stupid shit do I ask you?
Bring your fucking voice down.
No, you don't talk to me like that.
Bring your voice down.
No, you don't talk to me
you
like
bring
that.
your
You're
voice
not my
down.
daddy, though.
You can leave. You can leave. You
Oh
can leave.
my
You can leave. You can leave. There you go. No. Let her go. No. Let her go. Go. Go ahead. Bye. Go. You go.
No.
There you go. No, you can leave. Go ahead.
Why are y'all doing this?
You good. We good. Thank you. Have a good day, sweetie.
What is going on? How did this
All right. No. It's good. There you go.
Oh my God. What in the world?
There you go.
What just happened?
It was time for her to bounce.
Oh my God. Maybe
I know that Asian out of respect to minorities. What the fuck? Stop! I want to get another air right now. You punching air, probably swinging around eating some bananas. Fucking stupid bitch. Preach is crying right now, swinging from a monkey branch.
And why is she going to end up with a poor mate? Because we as black men are not raising black boys to be the men that our women need. If we're going to be men, the first thing we got to do is take responsibility for why our women feel the way they feel.
I want you to listen to what this Negro has to say.
Of a white guy who married a black woman with black children. And in this video, the white guy was clowning black men and saying, you think I can't raise black boys? I raise them better than y'all do.
This is type of woke shit that I'm talking about right here that makes white men like Nick Fuentes get on the internet and be comfortable saying nigger. This is why motherfuckers like this are dangerous. And we've let these Negroes go on too long saying whatever they want to say. All this anti-black male rhetoric is what it is. This is why motherfuckers like this are dangerous. And we've let these Negroes go on too long saying whatever they want to say. All this anti-black male rhetoric is what it is.
We got too many PhDs screaming they woke. Sleep on the land and take us off for a joke. The blacks I see, immigrants, tap dancing, nigga shit. Homie, he ain't black like me. Ancestors fought and died with no guns. You hear disrespect and speak with a forked tongue. We march for togetherness. All we really seeing is a bunch of sellout motherfuckers round here don't tell the shit. Separate better shit. We don't fuck with it, trick them celibate. Tell it to the donkey and the elephant. Here for the benefits. Damn right, talking to you immigrants. Over here acting like you innocent. In your homeland, you don't fuck with blacks. But getting handouts and money off our tax. And we ain't getting shit but some feel-good talk. And young black men outlined in white chalk. Time to spark change, the kind folks see. Produced by Baz, inspired by Uncle D. Give black men a voice, the only Umars on Friday. And trust me, our doctor ain't boys. My people rejoice, my lyrics ain't shooting and killing the black man. Make a motherfucking choice. What niggas do for money, clown and act a fool. Wearing dresses, finessing money just for a school. Tell it to these coons on a plantation, made it a celebration. Everybody to Zoom, blizzard in the room. So bundle up, trick. It's cold outside and he ain't taking no shit. This is why they hate us. Blood run deep, a generation of traitors. They wanna see us weak, you ain't a part of the family. Cold shoulder, fuck you, black man ain't shit. I'm sure the world will love you. Head down long enough, 50 plus years, you yelling that we ain't strong enough. Took them benefits and ran with it, it's Mayday. Took the kids away and now they Pookie and Ray Ray. This is where we separate.
Word, feel me? We gotta keep our black women safe. Why you got spray pan or what's the name?
Like, you keep this shit moving, bro. We don't play like that, bro. I just
Okay,
bro. I don't give
okay,
a fuck,
bro. We don't play like that.
About, my nigga? Like, look at your van, my nigga. This is some weird shit. Don't come parking around this shit, my nigga.
Word, there's some other shit.
Fuck you. What's the name of the block? I don't know. Bro, get the fuck out of here, my nigga. Real shit, bro. And keep it going fast, bro.
Yo, that's some crazy. That's crazy, bro.
Get it understood, cause real black men wish a motherfucker would. So buck if you want to. On the next flight, we do whatever we want to. Blizzard King coming, everybody favorite uncle.
You got niggas with degrees enabling these motherfuckers by perpetuating these lies and negativity about black men. Most of you black men don't have kids. You ain't even got no wife. 31% of y'all are married, 51% of you don't have kids, and you're not married. That's 82% of black men who ain't did shit or are doing it the right way. There's 18% of men out there with children outside of wedlock. And of that group, they are better fathers than men of other races who are married to their women. Right. You black men are outstanding. You hear me? You are winning. Fuck what these PhD ass niggas are saying. You are winning. You are doing a great fucking job, especially considering what you had to do and deal with historically. Especially that. Nobody's saying that. These lying motherfuckers, man.
Dennis Sperling. This person has been negatively targeting Black women negatively on social media. And it seems as though ever since Kevin Samuels died, he's been trying to, I don't know if he wants to be the next Kevin Samuels, if he wants to be the next person who's famous for disparaging Black women and for making someone try to feel a certain way, particularly Black women.
First they had Weight Watchers, now you got hate watchers. Let's get it. This is for my lovely young ladies like I hate. Blizzard King, Dennis Sperling. First let's get the record straight. I say it online, I can say it to your face. Not a bully, I'm just mean, know what I mean, no debate. It's time to put some motherfucking knowledge on your plate. Excuse me if I'm vulgar, but a king ain't sweet like cake. Holding court, living court, ladies, you just need a taste.
what we been through, judge will set you up for great. Yeah, and I ain't talking no more, I will not put on a cape. I do not confuse shit, we all gotta face reality. You woofing on your men like you an ape. My job is protecting black men up in this space, and also putting rude bitches back up in their place. Cross-examination, yeah, I look good to the race. Man, be a man, nigga, say it with your chest. The soft-spoken men these lovely ladies don't respect. I can care less, I do not do this for checks. I do this for my sons and the black men I invest. It's time to get what I was, ladies, gotta pay your debt. You're working with the same men who put it round our necks. You're not my sister, not my kind, you a threat. When the weather change, I hope you bitches feel dead. Let this be reminders to the ones who disrespect. We are God's chosen men. When you say Jesus, you mean us.
The only Jesus I know is him, and the one thing he don't need is a partner.
Shut the fuss, we discuss with your fuckery. Past 100 years, you ain't loving me. Who was on the front line fighting? Yeah, fuck is me. Building all them black towns? Yeah, fuck is me. Kicking riots off Michael Brown? Yeah, fuck is me. Now you wanna put us underground, not to fuck with me. Change your plans, baby, you can be replaced. Let freedom ring. No sunny white days, Martin Luther King. Single mama program chip for the simp queen. Mother goddess only gon' destroy us. It's the Blizzard King. Blizzard King, the Blizzard King. Yeah, hate watch on the Blizzard King. Blizzard King, the Blizzard King, the Blizzard King, the Blizzard King, the Blizzard King. Hate watch on the Blizzard King. It's the Blizzard King, the Blizzard King, the Blizzard King. Yeah, hate watch on the Blizzard King.
Say that's the bad guy. So say good night to the bad guy.
All right, guys, we are signing off. You guys were wonderful on tonight. Shout out to my man Salty Balls for the 10, always showing love, guys. We're signing off. We're going to fly the plane all the way to the motherland. And guys, love yourself, get your rest, and don't settle for mediocrity, guys. Be well.
When my friends go, it was simple. When the ends low, switch the tempo. I got right, I got heart, I won't die, I'ma fight. I go down, then I strike. I go hard day and night, yeah. I go hard day and night. 1 to 1, no surprise. See the hate in their eyes. My brother's blood money bleed. I got the game in the squeeze. What would you do for some green? What would you do for some blues? Go pick and choose the fam of the cheese. Some people not built like that. Some people get killed like that. Pressure like water, lights, mortgage. I've been at bills like that. Now I got kids like that. No wonder why I feel like that. Some people go to war for nothing. Me, I go to war for something.
Before there was the manosphere, I was. Before there was the internet, I was.
When the ends low, switch the tempo. I got right, I got heart, I won't die, I'ma fight. I go down, then I strike. I go hard day and night. Money on the line, keep calling. Money on the books, need all that. My kids, they'll be ballin'. Got a real bankroll, not for Instagram. My mama on the line, keep calling. Praying for me, know I need all that. Told me it's not about ballin'. Real blessed, but I'm still sinning, man. What would you do for a win? What would you do for your friends? What if this life is a foe? What if it always pretend? What if you wrote to the end? What if you started again?
Fire! The kosher clinician.
Left it to the bank like ha 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 ha. Left it to the bank like ha 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 ha. I got it in 10s, 20, 50, 100s, 10s.
This is the final foray as alpha male strategist thought he was going to laugh to the bank. But alpha male strategist had to come to a conniption, and he realized that the passport movement is a force to be reckoned with. What say you?
I'm a star, got no stage fright. Please don't get me mad, I'm a nice guy. My baby say I'm cute, yeah, I'm tight fine. I be waking up when you go night-night. In a different zone with the time. Left it to the bank like ha 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 ha. it in 10s, 20, 50, 100s, 10s, 20, 50, 100s, 10s, 20, 50, 100s, 10s, 20, 50, 100s. I get it, I flip it and continue. I've been going dumb, I've been going mental. Going up, I'm on another level. All black clothes like I'm metal. Little this and this, little Ricky Rick. It's my grandmama, I'm her Nicky Nick. I just wanna love, but I've been hit or miss. I might up and leave, never take a pic. Laugh it to the bank like ha 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 ha. Laugh it to the bank like ha 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 ha. I got it in 10s, 20, 50, 100s, 10s, 20, 50, 100s, 10s, 20, 50, 100s, 10s, 20, 50, 100s.
Fire for your mind. The Kosher Clinician.